live today from my office. How's everybody doing? How you doing there, John? With us, Lebanon John, as always. We're going to be joined by a lot of people today. We're going to have Rex Jones on. Might have Alex Cargill on later. Might have Chase Geyser on later. Might just send out the link to everybody I know. Let everybody join. How you doing today, John?
Hey, thank God. Yeah, hanging in there, man. It's been a fast-paced, chaotic day. You've had a long day. I appreciate you doing this. How you doing?
It's been a long day. A long day. Hold on, my cat's pushing my door open. Hold on, talk to the people, John.
All right, yeah. So yeah, Harrison's had a long day. It's been nonstop BS. I'd love to, address it.
All right.
Yeah, what's up, everyone? And looking forward to hearing from Rex. Rex has been doing something similar to what you've been doing, which is trying to process all the Candace Owens content to try to make heads or tails of what exactly she is saying. And, it's not easy.
Candace? I don't think I know anybody named Candace. Candice.
Candies.
Nuts.
Fit.
I've never heard of such a person, John.
Well, if only that were true. But I got some stuff about that person. Remember, I sent you the link. I don't know if you saw it, man. There's some really crazy stuff about that.
The Twitter that you sent me?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. Let's intro ourselves for real now. Hold on. We're just getting started here. Share the link, everybody. I already see some people in here criticizing how I always cover up for Israel.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
Yeah, man. They're on to me. Rex and Tim, welcome to the show. Gentlemen.
Thank you. We're going through some technical difficulties right now, but we're all good.
Name of the game, my friends.
What's up, guys?
Here we go. There we go. That'll work. That'll do it.
Long time no see, fellas.
Yeah. Yo, Rex, I love the beard, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's an experiment that began in October.
He's not allowed to shave it off.
Not allowed to shave it off. Not for a while. Not until I get the hair on my head back. But I think I'm gonna like having both. I think I'm looking
go to Turkey.
Keep it going.
It's a
good look.
I know, it's super cool, man. What did you get hit in the head, man? What happened?
That's a birthmark. Everyone asks me that. I get about one of those a week. I get about one of those a week. And now the scar on the side of my head is basically gone. So people stop asking me if I had brain surgery. But Charlotte, my younger sister, was a little aggressive one day. I had stolen her Highlights magazine. I was laying in bed. And it was like this really messed up bunk bed that had like concrete siding next to it. And she kind of bashed my head into it for a little bit. So the benefit of being bald is not only that scar being bigger, but the birthmark being bigger. So everyone always asks me about that.
Mm-hmm.
But awesome. You, Harrison, you've gotten yourself a hickey of your own. Did Loomering and Candace Owens battling.
Dude, I forgot about Loomer. I forgot I was in a beef with her like 4 days ago. Sort of I guess it's related. Yeah, I guess it was the same accusation. I'm fighting them on all sides. I'm beating off the e-girls on all sides. It's brutal out here.
Hey, when you went on that Spaces, man, I was shocked to see you on there. I was like, is that Harrison and Candace? And you stood 10 toes down, man. I got to give you props for that.
Yeah, and I mean, not only that. I mean, she's lying.
Yeah,
and both you guys, John, Harrison, like she was lying. She said that she didn't say that Erica Kirk was there on Fort Huachuca Waka Baka Waka.
Exactly.
Nah, dude. She was not at the meeting. She was at the hotel the day before the meeting with the people that were at the meeting. It's a entirely separate thing. Total coincidence.
But
damn, that's not what I heard though. And I watched that episode like 4 times.
And he dragged me through it too. So
like I literally, not to talk too much, but I got my dog boarded, right? And so all I did yesterday was drive for like 2 hours, and I listened to it like 2 times over. And I came to the conclusion that she's either queen grifter, retarded, or like a really dangerous operative.
Dude, I have a lot to say about this, man. I have a lot to say about this. But first of all, I just want to say, I've been telling everyone, I can't wait to talk to Rex because I know you've been biting the bullet for us You've been trying to make heads or tails of what she is saying.
Yes.
And no, I appreciate you doing that, man, because who has the time and the mental bandwidth to try to process all this? Because it's just
eight-page document. He was extensive with his work here.
Wow.
8 pages of notes.
8 pages of notes. We went through it on our last stream, and I was like, it hurt my brain to comprehend all the craziness that was going on.
I need to clean it up and do my 5th watch through and really make sure that I'm on the ball, because when you follow it, you know, it's one of those things where, like, one of the most dangerous things, 2 of the most dangerous things really are magical thinking, number 1, and then self-fulfilling prophecy. And both of those things are heavily tied up in this whole ball here. And I think she's doing some like sympathetic magic with the world right now, trying to create this Fort Huachuca scenario where now no one's talking about Tyler Robinson or this actual scam or cover up that happened on that day. And if you ever talk about it ever again, you're just going to be branded a Q-tard, basically a new Q-tard.
Bro, I have so much to say. You're so right, Rex. Shoot. But the elephant in the room that literally no one is talking about is yesterday, Donald Trump came out and did an announcement with Bibi Netanyahu that they're going to kick up a whole new episode or a whole new series of bombing Iran on behalf of Israel. And that was like the main thing that Charlie Kirk beefed with Trump about. And so like the rumors is that Trump was yelling at Charlie Kirk about him complaining, telling Trump, like, just please don't bomb Iran, basically. And then, so yeah, like you said, now here we are arguing about Fort Titicaca or whatever. And we're not talking about the fact that exactly what Charlie was worried about is happening again. And no one is talking about
screen.
Right. It's a shit screen. That's pretty wild. Not to curse, but like that's what it is. And I don't know. We've looked at conspiracy theories for quite a long time. All of us. I think that's fair to say. And this rings to me like that thing that Dew posted about like the torture tree or whatever. Do you remember that, Harrison, from a while back? It was like a border thing that turned out to be fake, and they said people were doing rituals down there and whatnot. And a lot of people believe that, right? But then you also look at something like Pizzagate. You look at the Podesta emails, and you understand why people are willing to believe things that are crazy, because in fact, crazy things do actually happen. So I'm not trying to blame the public for being skeptical. I'm just saying, by trusting this woman and thinking that she's the arbiter of truth, she's grifting off of you. That's how I see it.
I mean, she can't keep her story straight, and it's all this like wink and a nod, like, we're going to make this accusation, but then say, we never made the accusation. And it's like, you did though, but you actually did. So like, that's what you have to actually confront. That's what you have to actually explain.
What she did was she had the guy come on, say all the things. She didn't explicitly say anything out of her mouth, because I've watched it. But then she gets to claim, well, I never said that, right?
Well,
but it's not it's the exact same scenario. You platformed the guy.
She went to church, and it was a special day of obligation, and she came home, and it was the first email that she saw, and that means that it's divine providence that Fort Huachuca Waka Blaka Nakachaka is in fact the home of Satan on earth. And like, that's literally, she doesn't say, yes, Mitch, I think you're right, XYZ. She'll sit there and smile and nod and let this guy paint his story. But she'll affirm it at the beginning and the end by saying, essentially blessing it with her perceived notion of divine providence. That's what offended me about it. And like, people will get mad. People will say Alex does the same thing. And I would say, yes, that is true sometimes. And I don't like it. I don't like it. And this is a whole new level of that.
Okay. Man, there's so much to get into. First of all, did you guys know that Fort Oaxaca, whatever, is the headquarters of where they bring pastors in the Zionist Protestant movement to train them on how to speak and lead Protestant churches to be more Zionist? That's actually one of the key things.
Well, yes, that's her first claim in the video.
Really?
The first 20 minutes of the interview, she talks about a Christian gym that was infiltrated.
So
the training methods.
So the thing is that actually ties into, because remember, we had those debates with that guy, Pastor Sam, and that guy went crazy on me, right? I mean, he said I'm an enemy of God because I said we should vote if we're going to go to war. Oh no, enemy of God. You know, he said Lebanese people got to all die, and it's crazy stuff.
He literally did. He was like excited that the idea that Syria was going to be eradicated by a nuke.
Yeah. So this is the kind of stuff that like she drops
these
nuggets.
Are Christians saying that?
Well,
evangelical.
In name, more in name than Orthodox people would say that that's not very Christian, obviously.
I mean, look, I'm not even Orthodox. I mean, I grew up religious. My grandma was a pastor, but in general, you go read the Bible. The Jesus didn't say go nuke the Jews. Don't go nuke the Semites. Go kill the Arabs. Go kill the Arabs and do everything.
Not in so many words. It depends on how you interpret it. Obviously,
you see, and also you see. But if you ask ChatGPT, as we did on one of our prior shows, it'll tell you Muhammad was a gentle leader who advocated peace. So it's beyond anything. It's beyond anything.
Harrison, question for you, man. Like, what was it like just being there and like having to hear her say all of that? Like, were you just like seething underneath the surface? Because I would.
No. It's just kind of I just have heard it all before, so it's just kind of
annoying. It's annoying that you have to deal with it, because that's where I'm at in Lebanon. John, you brought that up. That's where I'm at with it, is because when Owen left InfoWars, right? When Owen left InfoWars, whatever happened, I supported Owen. I said a lot of positive stuff and retweeted a bunch of positive stuff about Owen. And I got the people in my comments going, "You don't even love your father. You don't even know Alex Jones. How dare you? You've lost all respect. You've lost everything." And
you go with him, boy. You love Owen so much, you go marry him.
I understand. I'm bad. You hate me now. And then now it's even worse, to the point where I'm getting Ratio defending my dad, who I disagree with on multiple topics. But because I agree with him on this one, I got people calling me like a Zogbot, like a Zionist creature. I literally say like free Palestine and stuff. I don't understand. Well, they can't think. What do you think, Lebanon John?
Bro, the comments are really bad. They're really bad.
Yes.
If you read, you can see that there's a lot of mental illness. It's concerning, man.
Very true.
Real.
Yeah, there's something wrong with the public, unfortunately. And I was actually talking to Harrison before we went live, where it was like, our job, what we're doing here, especially Harrison and your dad, the public opinion, it does matter to a certain degree, even though it's so easy to be like, man, screw the public. They're a bunch of dummies.
I never said that. I love the public. You guys are smart.
I know. No, I know. But when the public is like a mob, just burning people at the stake incorrectly over and over and over, it's embarrassing, and it's awkward. And so we have to like wrangle with them.
I 100% agree with that. And I tell people this on our show all the time. It's like we're sitting here talking about Fort Huachuca Hookah Wooka, and there's like literally people who are like dying on the streets,
right? People
who can't get food.
Right.
There's like more important stories that like pertain to humanity. And we're sitting here debating whether Erica Kirk was sitting at a table with a bunch of people conspiring to kill him.
And that's why to me it feels deliberate. Like Laura Loomer on Christmas, like off the top rope with a fucking steel chair and a razor blade knife coming from my dad's neck with that tweet. And everyone knows, like, she knows. She was on her bed, like, kicking her feet up as she was saying that out. She knew what she was doing. She knew he was beefing with Candace. She knew, hey, you know what? Alex isn't as pro-Zionist as me. I need to force him. So she releases that thing and tortures us with it. When fuck Loomer. My dad doesn't give a shit what she says. She's not our handler. Dude, I mean, come on, but it's a perfect storm of thing where he's fighting with Candace. That's going mega viral. And then Laura Loomer comes in, makes it even more viral. And I've seen it on Twitter as one of the top news stories for the past week.
Hey, Alex, really enjoyed our conversation. Thanks for being my willing puppet to wage my attacks for Israel. Love Loomer.
Love Laura Loomer.
Love Laura.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah. So, Candace basically doesn't want to say that she was accusing Erica. Candace doesn't want to say it, but she was at the same time. She was accusing Erica.
Sorry. Finish this up. I got super chats that ask this exact question. So
I just wish Candace would just be like, yeah, I was kind of implicating Erica. Like, just fucking say it. Like, what's the big deal? Like, Erica is like this untouchable topic. Like, she didn't have the like. Let me get this straight. She got less flack implicating top brass from the Pentagon over implicating Erica. Like, what the fuck is going on, dude? Like, her story, if her story was true, she's saying the Pentagon killed Charlie Kirk, and we're all just like, whatever, no big deal. Like, that's a big deal.
That's what they do. I mean, if somebody's going to kill Charlie Kirk, you go to the Pentagon first. It feels bad to make light of that, but yeah, I don't know. I think the whole thing is lost. Hold on, Coop 95 for $20. Good evening, sir. Howdy, boys. Rex is on the way. Just left the stream to come here. All right, should have read that earlier. Brushing up on Ratchet and Clank from when my boys here. Ratchet and Clank. You boys ever play Ratchet and Clank?
A little bit,
way back when, I think so.
Never played it.
Way back.
Nerds, you losers. K Mister 90 says, do y'all think Candace, or $50, thank you so much. Do y'all think Candace is being led down a rabbit hole, or she's become part of this cover-up of Charlie Kirk?
Ooh, I got something
on it.
Yeah,
right, I got something. I got something. She ate Q and became the next thing. That's what she did. She's the digger of the rabbit hole. Right. She decided that she was going to make that her job. That's my opinion.
No, I think that's a fact. I think that she's addicted to the rush of leads, uncovering new scoops, right? Because it is addictive, either intentional or not. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but there is that tweet I sent you, Harrison. There's some crazy stuff about Candace that someone needs to confront her on, that she could be associated. Her dad, I think, was actually
wait. I didn't actually see this, and I couldn't find what you were talking about.
The second one I sent you. Now look, this could be completely
on
wrong.
Discord.
Yeah, but there are rumors that Candace Owens' dad is related to Sandy Hook.
How so?
Like the cleanup of Sandy Hook.
See, we don't just make baseless accusations around here, John. We have a high journalistic standard of excellence. We don't just let anybody come on and make claims about anybody. All right. So
listen,
of course not. Why would we?
Here's the thing. I got a shotgun in my closet, and it's a lot less painful. It's a lot less painful to get yourself in the stomach with that thing than it is to get sued by those people. So I just have no opinion at all.
No, for sure. But this is like, it was on like his resume, and then it got scrubbed from the internet, where he said he was in charge of contracts, including security at Sandy Hook. So all I'm saying is that, it could lead to something, it could not, but her eyes were so blue that I will never get it wrong. And I'm 100% sure, but I'm not 100% sure. No, I'm just joking. But what I'm saying is that we should confront Candace Owens about this and be like, hey, was your dad involved with Sandy Hook in any way? Because that's something I feel like people should know, especially if you're going to make this huge beef against Jones, and we don't even know this.
Yeah, that's interesting from that perspective. I want to take time and kind of forensically, to the best of our ability, of course, by like watching her videos and understanding what she's been saying to her audience. I want to put together a picture of just how long she's been trying to take his spot, because that's what this is about. She wants his credibility. She wants to be the conspiracy theory lady. She wants all the views. She wants to be in charge. She doesn't like seeing him out there.
Have you seen her numbers on her lives? It's insane. If you go on YouTube and you look at her live, she's putting up like 3 to 5 million live views. It's insane. It's more than even your dad, right?
Yeah,
now?
Yes.
It's because the demographic, or like the marketing niche that she's hitting, is like a true crime type niche, right?
Yes.
It's not really politics anymore.
That's true.
She's been like carving out this really weird niche for a long time. And like, it's a type of thing where it was a couple years ago, and I can't even remember what she has, like these sort of sagas, and you sort of join on, and it's the model from that was like, started with that Serial podcast, where like it's an ongoing investigation where the audience is kind of participating, and there's like new updates. So like you're finding out as the person's finding out, and it's like super addictive. It's got the like, have to watch it, gotta catch the next episode kind of vibe. And like at one point a couple years ago, I can't remember when it was, my sister was like, are you watching Candace? Like, are you paying attention to what she's finding out? And I can't remember if it was the Macron thing or if it was the Blake Lively thing, but it's like, especially women will like latch onto this and then like be tuning in every day for a while, and then they'll maybe like drift off to something else, or they stick with it. And it
doesn't really amount to anything in the end. The point is to hook you in that moment And it's, it's entertaining in that sense. Now, the problem with all this is because anyone can, Candace can do whatever she wants. That's fine. The problem is the mob that she's riling up to attack people just based on one guy's story that now it's kind of coming out that,
right.
He could be completely wrong.
And I the thing that scares me is that like this is even beyond Q. Like this is a level
stronger than Q.
Yeah, this is stronger than Q. This is more widespread. Whereas like there are people that you would never know or suspect are like avid Candace Owens viewers, listeners, like just fans or whatever. There are people that watch that show every single day, and she basically said you can trust no one but me. And the facts that I have are right, and I need your help in my investigation to keep digging and digging and digging, and then that makes you feel like you're a part of the team.
Does anybody remember?
I just got to step away for a second.
Yeah, go ahead. Does anybody remember the old Candace? Because literally only 4 years ago, like I'm watching the fall from grace of how I used to view her. When she used to be part of The Wire, I felt like she was just slightly more based than she is right now. Honestly, I don't know what the hell happened to the old Candace. Well, but I used to watch her on the PBD podcast. She would go up there, make some really base comments. She wouldn't be afraid to toe the line, talking about things racial, black people.
That used to be her beat, was that she was that Brexit girl. Right. And like that was she was the first person to be like, it's okay to leave the Democratic Party. That's what you need to be familiar
100%.
with. Like that's what probably made you resonate with.
Well, here's the thing. She would say things that like I agreed on certain perspectives about like the black and white dynamic. And there's not a lot of black people that have conservative type thinking. And she was really pushing some of these things. Now I go and watch her and I'm seeing this crazy shit. I'm like, what's going on? What, this is not the Candace I used to watch like 4 years ago. And I'm just like, did The Wire just really, did Ben Shapiro hurt her? Did he do something bad and just make her feel bad?
Pissed her off. Didn't they have like a firing ceremony for her where they like played a big graphic hard. And they made like every employee in the office watch it while she was there? I think I heard something
really?
like that.
I don't remember that.
Well, I heard something like that. She may have not been there, but they definitely did, because I saw a clip of the Jeremy Boring video. That's how old it is, when he was still the CEO, right? And he's like, these comments have no place in our society. When it's like her being like, I don't like genocide. And it's like, this targets Israel. You cannot say you don't like genocide.
yes. I didn't realize you were an anti-Semite. Well, hold on. Let me just say, I did just send the link out to a couple other people, so we may be joined by other people. So final thoughts on this K-Mister 90 tweet. Rabbit hole, or is she doing it knowingly? Is she screwing it up on purpose?
She dug it.
She did it on purpose.
Well, here's the thing then. If her dad was connected to Sandy Hook, then that means that this is on purpose and that they're going to take legal action.
Yeah, I got reasons not to buy that claim. Being totally honest, the tweet you sent me is a reply to some guy named John Mappin, and the only thing I know about him is that his name has come up recently, I think because Nick Fuentes was saying he introduced Candace and her husband, but I don't even know if that's true. All I know is
the Scientology guy?
What?
That's a Scientology guy.
I guess so. I don't know.
Yeah, John Mappin. There's a big Scientology.
Yeah, I just don't even know who he is or want to.
No, it's not really. It's not really
him.
There.
I know, but we're not. I'm avoiding that completely.
But basically, what I'm saying is that they took legal action against Alex Jones in regard to Sandy Hook because of his questioning of the official narrative, where Alex Jones became the mascot of questioning the official narrative that they could kind of tar and feather or crucify, and then to have legal precedent now that they could nail anybody moving forward if you question too much. And I feel like if Candace messes this up too much, it's going to be kind of like that, where now that someone's going to take legal action against her if she doesn't.
I don't know why Erica doesn't already.
Well, that's the thing, right? And that's why, you know what, here's my meta level conspiracy theory argument, one level above Candace, maybe 1,000 level above. She's working with Erica Kirk to cover up the assassination by making this obfuscation smokescreen situation possible. And she's taking on the scapegoating in order that no one else can ever criticize the event again. Yeah. Like that's the real conspiracy theory thing to say here, in my opinion.
That hurts my brain.
Yeah, But the thing is, man, if we just take a step back, you know, like Charlie Kirk was focused on Donald Trump's White House bombing Iran, and that's what Charlie Kirk beefed with Trump about. And so
that is a very good point.
Yeah, and like no one is focused on that because Candace
no
is
one's
saying,
talking about that.
Yeah, Candace is saying that the top brass are involved. That would implicate Donald Trump's, you know, administration one way or another. And then Ben Shapiro in the beginning of this whole fiasco was like, are you guys actually going to claim this conspiracy? Because then you're going to say that Donald Trump must have been in on it. Ben Shapiro, he's very fast with his thoughts, and he kind of ran down this logical process and reached its logical conclusion, which is that these accusations are going to end up trying to implicate Donald Trump if that's where you guys want to go with this. And
well, I mean,
said that a while ago.
No matter what, it implicates the FBI and the cover-ups instead of the ones that would find necessity bungle the investigation.
The person that's really at question should always be a question is Kash Patel. Because why did the FBI they not only do they clear the entire area, they like repave that entire area where the people were at. They did everything they could to destroy evidence.
I know.
They had a guy in custody. They released the guy in custody. Then they get Tyler Robinson. George Zinn is there going, shoot me, kill me, kill me.
And then he's got CP on his phone at the freaking hospital. Dude, everything about this.
They say that if he's got CP on his phone, then he can't be questioned. So like there's some kind of legal thing so if you have child porn, if you get caught with child porn,
let's use code words.
Oh, YouTube. That's right.
Get him banned.
Sorry. So if you get caught with CP, then you can't
PDF file.
Yeah, you can't like get publicly questioned at that point. Like this guy kind of like.
How is that? Wait,
we got to get rid of that.
To protect.
That's number one.
To protect the child victims, it can't be public. They can't have the legal proceedings public at that point because the victims are minors.
You can't just block out the name of the minor.
I don't know. You got.
Okay, no, all right.
Hold on. We're going off the rails here. I got more super chats to read. Hold on. Plasma stream. Harrison, your contact that told you Kirk was going to be shot.
That's all we said. But yeah, whatever.
Was he in contact with Tyler Robinson then? No and no.
Dude, that's so freaking funny. No, Tyler Robinson said that Israel was going to shoot you. No, I'm just kidding. Come on, guys. You guys are going loony with this stuff.
Who told you Kirk was going to be shot? Freedom Corpse asks, is Candace A, too retarded to verify research, B, an actual PSYOP agent? And JTO707 asks if you can pay me directly. That's the best way to pay me, actually. Yes, on Rumble. Rumble only. Everybody go to Rumble. So what do y'all think about the
last one that you're talking about, the B? I mean, B is a possibility because here's the thing. While you're sitting here spinning off all these narratives, all the weird stuff we're talking about, not only with the FBI, but we stopped talking about the weird text messages written by that boomer or AI or whatever when Tyler Robinson's talking to his lover. My love.
There's people in the area now.
This is exactly how I did it, and the gun was used, and this is the exact bullet, and this is the exact
my granddad's gun. I don't know what's missing, but he's been asking about it.
So while we're not talking about the actual weird crap that happened around the story, we start going from like Candace spitting out things like he popped up from the back of like a
Ninja Turtle attack
and came from a manhole or something like that, and now we're on Fort Huachuca Hookah, and it's catching enough people's attention to where you're not actually talking about the actual weird things that aren't lining up.
Yeah, and the actual weird things that aren't lining up are more than enough. Just people hearing they heard the shot come from, I believe it was the left and not the right, hearing people say they saw another person on top of the roof. There are reports of this. That's the stuff I believe. The main proof that something is amiss and things are not as were said that, or we were told, is that the 30-06 bullet, we have a 308 bullet sitting here somewhere on the table. The 30-06 is bigger than the 308. If you shot something, doesn't matter what it is, in the neck with that thing, the neck would blow apart and the end would look like a giant flower of blood.
Pretty big.
So him being a man of steel and the physician's notes being like, he was incredibly healthy, he stopped the bullet. That's where you go, okay, there's clearly an operation being worked here. And then she comes in as the sheepdog to talk about Fort Huachuca. That's how I see it.
Yeah, man. Either she's addicted to it because it is, fun and addictive, or there's other things going on, but the claim that she's gonna figure this out because she loves Charlie Kirk so much. Here's where I have a problem with all that. If you really love Charlie Kirk, then you should be pretty mad that Donald Trump just said that he's going to bomb Iran. Because that's pretty much what Charlie Kirk possibly died on. That there's a potential reality here. I personally ascribe to it that's actually why Charlie Kirk got shot, is because he called Trump and yelled at him. And what does that mean? That means that he called Trump and told him, I'm going to use my power to undermine your objective, which the United States government is calling a national security objective, to bomb Iran and prevent Iran from attaining nuclear weapons. And Charlie Kirk said, I'm going to use my influence as the #1 youth conservative leader to undermine that national security objective. That's dangerous. And that's a big deal. And he stuck his neck out. And for some reason, in Charlie Kirk's mind, the United States bombing Iran directly was like a red line that he was completely against happening. And again, instead of talking about that, we're talking about Snow saying, her eyes were so blue that I just knew, from the blueness of her eyes. I mean, when people start talking like that, it's a dead giveaway that they're full of shit.
Yes. And another key giveaway, not to step on your point because you make such a phenomenal point here, but you saying that, it jogged my memory a little bit and made me think about something. And there it goes out of my brain like that. I'll get it back. Just one second. Just 1 second. What were you talking about again? My bad.
So, you were talking Charlie Kirk argued with Trump that he's going to undermine this national security.
Right. Yeah, I got it. I'm so sorry to I just slitted the throat of the conversation and threw it to the side of the road.
Before you forget it again.
My point was, when Charlie Kirk went on PBD, he's like, yeah, there's no way that the IDF wouldn't have responded. There has to be an investigation into a stand down. I've been to the border. I've seen how quickly the military can get to the border. And him questioning October 7th, you talk about the Iran thing. I agree. They would hate him for that. Questioning the venerable, or not venerable, questioning the worst day in Jewish history since the Holocaust. That's the real crime, in my opinion. These people.
No, but the last interview Charlie Kirk did was with Ben Shapiro, and Ben Shapiro, he told Ben Shapiro a lot of stuff questioning the official narrative, and then Ben Shapiro goes on with Mark Levin and says that the leader of the conservative movement in the United States cannot believe that October 7th was an inside job, that's an unacceptable thing to happen.
Yeah. Well, but one interesting thing is that interview from Patrick Bet-David is from 2023, right? So that was right. I believe that was right after October 7th. So, it had been sort of a long, slow process, probably with some ups and downs, some statements made, some corrective measures, some donations to sweeten the pot, and the world goes round.
For Donald Trump to yell at him, that's one of the most insane parts. Yeah. And then again, Josh Hammer, the whole episode with Mr. Hammer, where he tells Charlie Kirk, say hi to Antifa for me. He says that. He says, say hi to Antifa for me, the night before, after they got in a fight.
And wasn't there something about a fox in a hen house needing to be eliminated?
And
that was about Tucker.
I see.
What about the dinner? Because they talked about, Candace had the whole text message from somebody who sent that from TPUSA about the dinner they had, and the argument
talks about Bill Ackman.
Exactly. And then they had an intervention with this, they brought in the ringer, this one rabbi who was going to really, it's like his last chance. At least this is how I'm understanding the narrative. There was one last chance. They brought this rabbi to kind of talk him off the ledge. And they did a video chat with Josh Hammer or Bill Ackman. Can't remember who, both or one or the other, was there on the video chat with this rabbi. And it didn't work. At the end of the conversation, they could not talk Charlie Kirk down. They could not get Charlie Kirk to submit to whatever it is they were trying to push him to do. And then the next day he died. That happened the night before he died. So that's another aspect of all this where there's no way Erica Kirk wouldn't have known that there was this feud, that there was this beef, and that the guy said, say hi to Antifa for me. And he was telling everyone that he thinks Israel's going to kill him. But then I'm supposed to believe Erica doesn't know any of this, but I know. It's kind of ridiculous.
Question for you guys. I'm sure everybody remembers where they were when the whole shooting happened and how it happened, and watching the video and the gruesomeness that came out behind it and the blood. But like, you know, one thing that's strange for me about this whole thing, and honestly, frankly, sad, is like we're getting so far away from the fact that like a man who had kids and a wife died like so like gruesome and tragically, that like you think Kirk would be proud that like all these things are going around about like how he died?
But that's
like,
why you do it. That's why you kill him.
It's like it's taking the energy away from the story itself of like the moment.
Well, that's
right.
That's the point. They're killing the man and the idea.
And that's kind of one of the underlying things with the Fort Huachaca meeting, and why the sort of implying directly that Erica Kirk like had foreknowledge is such like a line to cross. Like that's that it just takes it into an entirely different realm.
Well, the crazy thing about that is that in the same breath as she did that, she implicated the Pentagon. So if the Pentagon did this, then at that point, what role would Erica Kirk even play? Erica Kirk's not making decisions at the Pentagon. She's not top right. What does it even have to do with Erica Kirk at that point?
Exactly.
If you're saying the Pentagon wanted to kill him, so what? So why even waste your time talking about Erica Kirk? Like in the history,
and not even just that. I've said this before to Rex. I'm like, let's say the wife was involved somehow, right? Why would you choose the most public scene to do something like this instead of like going on some random boating trip and setting him up to like honey, let's go on a trip. Yeah, killing him in a boating accident or something that's like totally normal.
And that's a
good point, but
that's always been an aspect of it. I mean, because that aspect also comes into play if you're talking about the Pentagon. I mean, they have ways of making people die like by pressing a button. So either the public setting was in reality like because that was where he was vulnerable and this was a opportunity, and that could sort of go any direction, or because it was planned to be a public spectacle because
I think it was done deliberately, not only to sorry to interrupt. I think it was done deliberately not only to like take control of Turning Point and do whatever they want with it because it's a political campaign, turnkey, ready, waiting to happen. I think the real goal of this, and this is something my dad would agree with me on, there's few things that me and him would really 100% agree on. This is done to hurt Trump. This is done to hurt Trump because you look at Kirk being alive, you look at the midterms, maybe they're winnable. You look at Kirk being gone and the destruction and the civil war on the right, a Republican victory is not possible in 2026.
No, I don't see it.
So that to me sticks out because you got to look at like Quay Bono, like who benefits, right?
And that's why assassinations are illegal. They're fucking a shortcut. They're a way to, politically,
change the chessboard very suddenly and drastically. Now, if the Pentagon wanted him to just disappear, they probably wouldn't have done it with a public execution. The real only explanation that makes the most sense is that there are bad actors within the United States government that are loyal, diehard loyalists to a particular, it's a faction, it's a group. Basically I'm talking about essentially like Zionists or something like that.
I've never heard of them. We don't talk about that here. Chase Geyser, welcome to the program, sir.
Hey. Yo!
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Chase Geyser is in the house.
We love it. Shout out to Compound Media. That's great. Oh, I love you, Chase.
Yeah, are you just pissing your wife off now? Is that what's happening?
Oh, she's in another building, bro. I live on a property with multiple buildings now.
Nice. True freedom.
You braggart.
What's up, guys? Hey, how about Candace, bro? I think she's into you.
You think so? You think
I don't care what you say. I still think she's hot. Her eyes are too far apart, but she's hot. She does it for me.
I just saw someone in the chat say "fatal 4-way." I thought that was pretty funny. Welcome to the show, guys.
There's 5. There's 5 here. Dude, Candace Owens. I just remember back when old Red Pill Black used to be a guest on the Live 3 to 5, InfoWars Live 3 to 5, and we'd always just be like, "Dang, she's so pretty." It's like absurd how pretty Candace Owens is. It's helped her. It's helped her a lot.
What do you think,
that's
Chase?
it. I think that's why.
What do you think about the digital craziness going on right now? What do you think about Candace Owens' situation?
Honestly, I don't think about it.
Pretty basic.
Smart man.
I got a normal job now, dude. But I mean, honestly, dude, like we've seen this kind of thing happen before with Candace and Alex.
Have we?
Yeah. Like, Alex had his thing with Glenn Beck for a long time, justified. He had the thing with Owen when Owen left, right, for like 3 days. If you say something publicly against Alex, he's gonna snap for like 4 days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's beyond even that. I'm not trying to step on your toes, Harrison, but it's Christmas Day. Loomer comes in from the top rope with a chainsaw and tries to stab the knife in his neck deliberately right as he's fighting with Candace. Like this was a devastating operation. Let's be honest. This is not good.
Yeah, no, it's true.
But yeah, he should redo the Nick Fuentes famous clip. Alex should. Come here, Candace. You've been a bad girl. He redid that like word for word, shot for shot. That would go so fucking viral, dude.
Good grief,
dude. It is. It's the cycle of the meme. He's angry now. Eventually, it'll calm down. We will.
Oh yeah, she's going to be on the show in 3 weeks, and they're going to be saying nice things to each other.
I would love to see that. I'll pay money to see that. That would be great.
Honestly, I hope that she invites him on her show because that means he'll come to Nashville and I can get to see him.
Hell yeah.
Is that where she's based out of, where you're at as well?
Oh, yeah. They're right down the road.
What?
Yeah. All right. Hey, and what's up, Trans Splendor? We're running out of space on the old display unit.
You guys want me to leave?
Yeah, Chase, you can get the hell out of here.
You can't make him leave. He's way higher on the totem pole than me.
Wait a second. Wait, he really left?
Yeah,
no. There's enough room for everybody.
No,
there's plenty.
That ain't
room.
right.
John's like, nah, yeah, you're good.
Join back. I didn't think he was serious.
I think he can still hear us. I think he's here.
Okay, wait. He just texted me LMAO, so he's safe. It's okay.
Nice.
How you doing?
Good, brother. How you doing? I feel like you yesterday with the opposition's reversed now.
Oh, really? What's happening to you? Oh.
No, I just feel like I'm on the Candace narrative side when we've, right?
Yeah, these guys are more anti-Candace than I am.
Ooh.
Well, I don't like.
Okay, I heard a bit.
Coming from him, though.
I don't like people trying to.
I'm more of a fan than he is.
I don't like people coming after my dad and trying to take his spot, which is how I view this whole Hachuka Waka thing.
Which is how I view Harrison too, like sticking up for that. Like I think your dad kind of went to war on the Candace narrative, and fine, man. He's a media creator. I'm not arguing with him going to war on an interpretation of what Candace is up to, but I just think it's kind of a hard argument to defend at this moment, and that Harrison did well as he could, but I don't find the argument to be that compelling that if they can't explain everything in their narrative that it means that they're up to no good and it's a subversive thing. I think that's a lot of real estate to sell to people that are right, like that. Alex Jones is the father of cultivating these high level people that recognize a psyop when they see one, and everything about Charlie Kirk and his assassination does not add up. It's like they're screaming at you. It's like you're in a netherworld where you can't get to the next level unless you understand that was the most blatant takeout. Like what kind of Warren Commission trial is going on right now?
I agree. But then how do we get to Fort Huchucawaka and then him saying that he recognized Erica Kirk because they have the same eyes and his ex-wife had those eyes and he could never forget those eyes. And he was just there because he had a 35-year gag order, right, for finding a cocaine tunnel in the desert that implicated some U.S. Mexican officials. And he's had the cartel after him for all this time. They're coming through his windows. I have a 10-page document. I took notes on this whole thing.
Rex knows the story like the back of his hand.
And then she comes out and she tells Harrison that she never said that Erica Kirk was there. And that's true. She just affirms Mitch saying it. So
no. This has always been often confused. She didn't say that Erica was there on the 9th meeting. Only thing that was mentioned with Erica Kirk was on the 8th in the lobby of a hotel on the base. Is that what it is, Harrison?
But I think that is what it is. But answer me this, because I'm genuinely asking. Does that really matter that much? Because to me, her being in the lobby on the evening of the 8th with somebody who was at the meeting on the morning of the 9th, it's like she was there for the meeting. I mean, what else would she be there for?
It's relevant because of her text to Andrew Colbert that's like, here, show them this. Like, how could you not think I was there on the 9th? And everyone's going, okay, well, it wasn't like there's been this juxtaposition that everyone that believes in Candace is fused to Mitch Snow's testimony, where most people in the Candace sphere don't, like, even Candace herself gives it a 50-50 chance of that this guy has an accurate memory that saw what he saw. So no one has been making
she presents
the
it as
Mitch
fact
Snow thing a cornerstone.
To say that she doesn't is dishonest. She's beyond fact. Divine
she
providence.
speaks with conviction.
I
will
say she says that she went to church. It was a special day. She came back. She sees Mitch's email at the top of her thing. Boom. I just have a gut feeling. That's what she said. Just like Alex says, gut level. I just had a gut feeling, and then she moves forward with it. So she is affirming it, though.
For sure. You can discount him. Like, I'm just saying that could fall. Mitch Snow could fall, and Team Candace is not going to be like faltered too hard for it. But the detractors who have really made an economy out of anti-Candace land and following around everything she does and sounding like lunatics, like Ian Miles Chong has like wet brain or something. The way that he posts clips of Candace and says, she's targeting Erica. And all Candace said was a vaguely general term, like they all betrayed him. And then their eager minds, eager for that 7K, just go into overdrive and going, no, I can misrepresent this. And it's strange because they always link her clips, and then it makes more people go to Candace's side because she makes fucking sense. Honestly, the overall Candace attitude is the appropriate attitude to be having.
Yeah. No, I
the overall Candace attitude is the attitude to be having. And you, InfoWars, Harrison, Alex Jones have taught us all how to recognize these things when it doesn't add up. So seeing AJ get on board with a bunch of people that AJ fans are saying, you taught us to recognize this snake. And now you brought the snake on board and it bit me. And you said I was a snake when you brought me on board. You should know better.
I think that's a lot of, I think that's a lot of narrative. Just like you said, the other thing was a lot of narrative to swallow. I think that's a lot of narrative to swallow. Let me paint you another picture. Let me paint you a picture of Alex Jones on Christmas Eve or Christmas taking a photo with a Labubu. All right. And then him posting that, and then it being riddled with comments of saying, you've sold out, you're Zio bot, you work for Zog now, XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. He'd been dealing with that for weeks, but Laura Loomer on Christmas comes out and says, oh, I had a phone call with you, and basically I'm your handler, and you do what I say in nicer language, right? So not only is he having to deal with Candace Owens, he's having to deal with Laura Loomer. And the thing to me, you want to talk about conspiracy theories, it seems to me awfully correlated to try to take away any of my dad's credibility and destroy his career. Seems awfully correlated to me. And I got a real problem with that.
Loomer, I could easily see doing something like that.
Go ahead.
Loomer, I could easily see doing something like that. I was loving it. I was cheering on Harrison when he's like, shut the fuck up. You are not helping. Just go back into your hermit crab shell.
It's so obvious what she's doing.
Okay, let me
take it one little step further. How is my dad supposed to, quote unquote, like get on the right side of history or get on the Candace team or do any of this XYZ when she's been relentlessly hunting him and coming after him and trying to take his spot, and honestly using this story as a point of credibility and saying, I'm credible on this because I tell you the truth about Fort Echuca. Alex wants to cover it up. How do you like? Do you see an interest there in trying to take credibility?
I love them. Like I'd love them to talk to each other and just hash this out and go, guys, we can agree that the narrative doesn't make sense. I don't think that there's a zero-sum competition with, if you believe in Candace's theories, that should stop anyone from looking into every Trantifa angle possible. No one is in favor of not getting every text and data off the cell phones of people that were foreshadowing that Charlie might be assassinated, that were part of some Antifa cell. Everyone wants all that data. So there's been this illusionary thing brought up where a false dichotomy of you have to choose one or the other. You don't. So it's this war. It almost seems like your dad is so fired up about this battle right now that it almost feels like WWE. Like it's just like he wants to just kick some dirt up and just say, I'm going to just, like Roy Keane in soccer. He would just say, look, if I'm not having a good game, I'll go out and lay my studs into someone and just get part of the game.
I think I can explain it. I think because it's a self-perpetuating feedback loop. But John, you wanted to say something first?
Oh man, yeah. Okay, so hey, nice to meet you, man.
Hey, brother.
There's Lebanon John. So,
hey, but by the way,
I know him. I've listened to your guys' Moonbase.
Okay, cool. This is Moonbase Live. This is my old friend John. Pay attention. Go ahead, John.
Guys. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, a lot of people are very offended by implicating Erica Kirk. But if you take a step back and you look at the big picture, it's more controversial and more actually outlandish to implicate top brass from the Pentagon. And I don't know why people just gloss over that like that's no big deal. That's a huge deal.
I know we were talking about this the other day. That's not it's like that's who you would expect to do it. You know, it's like implicating the CIA. It's not like a bombshell. It's like that's who does assassination. The Erica Kirk thing is the red line in my opinion.
Trump's Pentagon.
I think it's been disgusting the way Erica Kirk has been used as a prop by TPUSA and Zionists. I think that's absolutely disgusting.
I agree.
I think being forced into the limelight to make CEO level decisions and make goddamn appearances everywhere and use her as an emotional blackmail tool. Remember when she's like, stop, and to Barry Weiss, just stop? I'm like, what kind of coward is hiding behind that to go, see, she told you to stop. Jackie Kennedy said that it's Lee Harvey Oswald, and she's going to be very offended if you guys don't accept the findings of the Warren Commission. Like, no one would ever do that. So it's so cowardly for them to have done that to Erica Kirk. No one on Candace's side wants to make her do shady stuff. Like, the left already just devours her because her behavior seems so off that everyone's just like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, it's not like I have a lot of sympathy for Erica, and I don't think it suits anyone to go after her motives. And I wouldn't be like humoring the Mitch Snow narrative, but Candace chose to. But her enemies, it's way more revealing how much they want to paint this as a cornerstone of Candace Land. And once you pull it out, Candace Land is gone forever.
Okay, I have to say something about that. You got to understand the mob that Candace has unleashed. If you look at the way they talk, it's literally mental illness. That's
everything in tribal nature. That's what I get for Nick Fuentes. She quote tweeted me making fun of Nick Fuentes sharing a milkshake with a cat boy, and I was assaulted. It's just the internet. That's fine. Just do it. It's going to happen. Like, it's going to happen, guys. They're very tribal. They bond with each other through a Moloch sacrifice of one person that they ridicule, and that's the only aloe to soothe the burn of a losing argument. You can't have one without the other.
Yeah, I think that she is not. Look, I don't know how to explain this. I don't want to criticize her too much because maybe she's just trying her best. Maybe she's just addicted to finding these scoops, right? I don't know. I'm not her, and I'm not in the room with her. But the end result of what she's doing is that there's a mob that, if you look at the comments, they've even gotten to the point where they're accusing Harrison on like mundane, basic things, like Harrison just like 20 days before Charlie Kirk got assassinated, we were interviewing Jake Shields, and we just told the story that someone told Harrison that Charlie Kirk had told them that he was worried Israel was going to kill them. Now people have changed that into somehow that Harrison is untrustworthy because of this, that somehow Harrison is suspicious because of this, and that Harrison is bad because of this. I mean, the mob is taking stuff that I personally know that there's nothing sinister in it, and they're making it like really dark and sinister. So I don't think you can say Candace is like completely innocent. She's like a bull in a china shop, like the way she's handling this.
Right. Can you guys hear me? My wife was texting me. I don't know if I'm back in this app.
Anyway, you're in here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Candace is making this about Candace is like calling mRNA injections a vaccine. It's like it's been framed that way, that it's Candace. If Candace was gone, it'd be Ian Carroll. If Ian Carroll was gone, it'd be Ryan Matta. People are naturally going to question what happened, and they're going to look for a mascot of someone who represents their suspicions. And so far, it's been Candace. I would have wanted to be Harrison. When he broke that 1 month before, I'm like, dude, do you realize you're in like the center of history right now? Like, do you understand what you just did by reporting that? That was amazing, dude. So I just don't understand. Like, you were way more what a far leftist would call an anti-Semite, was way more what Harrison was doing than Owen when they were both, having their own shows. So I was expecting Harrison to be Candace Owens right now. Right. And then when I see brother AJ go in the other direction, go ahead. I'm just like, oh no, they've put the angel in his cage. He cannot fly at the moment.
No, dude. Well, that's
Tim isn't corrupted by InfoWars.
So I'm like,
let's hear what he has.
Look,
to say.
I'm on the outside looking in because I haven't been part of the ecosystem of like the media space when it comes to InfoWars. I was always just a viewer, and I'm in the center when it comes to a lot of these ideologies and political stuff. But it's just so weird. If I take a 10,000 foot view and I just look at the conservatives and the right now, they're not even just in politics, but on the media side, I don't know where this like shift and divide has come from. Like, I go and look at like the left, and I'm not sitting here like trying to like defend the left, but like whatever agenda they have is like so much more united. And it's
their
like
agenda.
And it's like the talking heads on that side, like I don't know what's going on. Like it almost seems like, you know, there's been like a seed planted in the right, in the conservative movement, to where not only just the politics has like fundamentally broken to where you have like two distinct camps. Now you're seeing some of that like diverge into some of those media spaces where you have now talking heads like Candace going against Harrison and going against Alex Jones. And then you've got Fuentes and Candace. They hate each other and their camps hate each other with the Groypers.
Can I pick up
That's
on
the
that?
thing.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna pick up on that. You got Fox News boomer audience. You got Alex Jones, Tim Pool style audience, Crowder style audience, Gavin style audience. Then you got Fuentes, then you got Candace Owens, and then you got literal like Hail Hitler people. And that's
but you also have the Ben Shapiro faction.
True. Well,
the Mark Levin
Fox
faction.
News, boomer neocon.
Yeah, that's thing. I mean, it's a constellation of, it's like a mosaic of all these things. All right, so with the right being divided, I mean, this is just a feature of the right. I don't think we're ever going to get out of this. I feel like there's also a weird cyclical nature to it, because it was last year around like Thanksgiving to almost Easter, but like definitely around Christmas, that it was like the H-1B battle, and like there were a billion things and it was kind of another similar situation where, because one of the things with Alex is that a lot of people hate Alex Jones and want to destroy him. A lot of people on the right hate Alex Jones for their own personal reasons, because their own beefs, because
it's been like that for as long as I've been alive.
There's so much of that. And so anytime Alex says something that is out of step with the zeitgeist as it is represented by the online right, those people come out of the woodwork, and it's just bombard, all hands on deck, destroy Alex Jones. He's been weakened, destroy. And so, you know, it always takes the same pattern. It's always like Candace has been going for 3 months. We've been generally supportive of her. Like I've talked about all of the developments as they've arisen. I mean, when it comes to the Charlie Kirk thing and like me investigating it, there's not a lot there. Like, and Candace Owens obviously was like, this is my thing. So it's like, all right, she's going to research that. Not sure what I could do. So, she really, made it about herself, which I don't really criticize her for, but that is unique. That is weird. That is not like anything that's ever happened with conspiracy theories before. It's not usually or ever the type of thing where one creator is like, this is now my show and I'm going to research this and everybody is going to, it's like, I'm not even saying Candace like did that on purpose or anything. It's just that sort of mentality that's developed is very bizarre and I think kind of poisonous.
Well, and those
people. But to
what?
I need to know what her speculating about someone that might not be Tyler Robinson responsible. What does that hurt?
It doesn't.
It hurts everyone that, it has a different theory than her. It also doesn't agree with the official story, like Alex. It hurts them, and then she makes them look to be like paid agents and makes that insinuation. Yeah, that's who it hurts. That's the problem here.
I agree with you. The temperature's too high. People say things that go way too far in the heat of the moment, and then they don't feel like they can back off because the tribes back up either side. So it gets mercurial and it gets very tribal. I get it, but I don't think that InfoWars is in league with Tim Pool or Crowder. I think that's slop delivery, and I think you guys have not done slop delivery. So, I've heard Harrison talk about things that I could never hear Crowder talk about.
Brother. I know you got a point here. The main thing is people come to us now and they say, Candace Owens exposed you. I've learned the truth. You're Zionist controlled. You're Zogbots. You're servants of Israel. Fuck Israel. Fuck Netanyahu. Fuck world Jewry. Fuck every single one of those things. So boom, it's disprove right there. If my father, Alex Jones, is the Jewish control agent, right, and he's running ops for Mossad, then I can't say that, much less say that on his platform, on the show, which I have.
Careful, so you got the red dot on you.
Very, very angry when Alex, I hear, your dad sold out, your dad is controlled. No one has any idea what we have been through. But the point is, Alex's platform has remained a place where anyone can speak their mind and say these things. And I don't like the hyperbole and lack of context that is given when Candace Owens comes after my father, and these people just get activated. They just get activated.
Yeah, people really don't. And for the record, like if you watch Alex's show, he is significantly less favorable to Israel these days, like to a very huge degree.
Like and literally today.
Yeah. Today he's literally bragging about being the first one
to. He glazes them too. Let's not deny it. Let's
not
tell
today.
the truth. Let's tell the whole story. Let's tell the whole story.
And he does it to everybody. It's, again.
But today he said that he was actually like proud of Harrison for sticking his neck out and being one of the first ones to implicate Israel.
He really should be. Harrison went up to the castle gates of Team Candace and took on 7 opposers. I already chastised them and said, guys, you've got to treat guests better that are in opposition. I am a veteran of TikTok lives, and we get high caliber opponents because we treat them like gold. And we're like, you're at least here taking the argument. The least you can do. Like, I thought Diligent asked Harrison a great question about the FBI not reaching out to him and that being a major glitch. But I thought that going further than that and saying that because Harrison was employing the argument, you must explain to me your theory, that it means he's trying to set up Candace to be sued. Like, that's way too far of an accusation for a guy that's taking the time, facing the music. I don't even think it's his primary argument. He's just being an awesome bro code coming in as a wingman for an argument that AJ largely wanted. Like, he's going around like Ric Flair on this, and I love it. That's the old AJ that we love, getting excited about stuff. But if you're going to do that, you need to be the one at the castle gates, and Harrison can be there as backup, your bodyguard as you enter the deli in the Bronx. Like, that's how it should go.
I think it's fine. But let me explain this. For one thing, it's funny to me when people are like, Alex is making him do. If you think Alex Jones has ever been like, Harrison, go back me up. Harrison, go make my heart. You're like, yeah. And I know you're not saying that, but that just always cracks me up. Like, Alex does not need me interfering or like, injecting myself in any way. And I don't like half the time I'll say something, I'll be like, ooh, that might piss Alex off. Like, I don't do things for Alex. I'm literally just responding like in the way that I see it, because you have all these people being like, Alex is a Zionist agent. He's sold out. And this is why he's saying, I'm like, okay, I know for an absolute fact that's not true. Because I do a 3-hour show where half the fucking time I'm saying the craziest stuff about Israel. Like, it doesn't even make sense. But this all kind of ties in together, right? Because I really appreciated what you said in your video, basically saying like, hey, this guy came in and was talking to us. Why would you? Because that is how it feels, where it's like, and then, you get to a breaking point where you're just like, I came in, I answered all the questions, and you just won't stop questioning me and insinuating I'm lying. Fuck you. Like, fuck you. I'm leaving. I don't need to talk to you. Like, so why would I? And that's just like, it's just not a productive way to be. I didn't go in there wanting that to be the outcome. And so it's just, like you said, you're not going to get, high quality people to come by doing that. But then sort of on that same thing on a macro scale is like, I am on the radio. I'm on InfoWars. We're like the biggest, and I'm literally saying the craziest stuff. And not because it's crazy. I'm just like saying what I really think about Israel and the genocide they're carrying out, and et cetera, et cetera. And then it's like, I'm literally, one of the first comments on this video today was, Harrison has been exposed as a Zionist shill. And it's like, do y'all have any idea the fucking opportunities I have sacrificed to specifically go after Israel? Again, I don't care, like,
right.
But at the same time,
the official story, like, what's the alternative? If Candace ceases to exist and there's a magic genie lamp that removes her entirely, her entire legacy of following this is gone. Would the world be richer or poorer? We wouldn't have the text 48 hours before Charlie that said, I'm abandoning the pro-Israel cause. You can't threaten me with removing donors. This is so like them. And that adds to a huge pile of evidence that was building since his letter to Bibi Netanyahu that strangely I saw Nick Fuentes do a review of, and he took out the parts 2/3 of the way through the letter that said, I want Israel to be doing all this.
We're already beefing with Candace. You're not starting to beef with Nick Fuentes on this stream, sir.
It's long going.
You people,
they know, they well know about me. You don't need to back me up on this. I know you guys are friends, but it's the whole evidence building towards of a breakup letter to Bibi. I'm sick of being with my kid on Easter and getting questions about why, Christians aren't being allowed into this section of Jerusalem. And it was like, what do you expect to write? If you're writing to the mob that you want to leave the mob, and you're in the Zionist nation built in an edifice of millionaire donors that are bringing Zionism to the conservative youth to make them think that Mark Levin and neoconservatism is hip, I'm cool, and if that's the thing that your donations built, I thought it was naive of Charlie to be trying to make it into a free speech platform because you're paid to do propaganda. You're not paid to have Dave Smith and Barris, whatever boy's name is. What's that guy? Josh Hammer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not, the money isn't going to keep coming if you keep destroying our arguments. We're a propaganda outfit now. You took the money for this organization. You've got to deliver the mail. And so he was turning against that. And a big circumstantial case was being built. And then Harrison threw like the fucking spear from Game of Thrones that kills a dragon into it. With fucking a month before he dies, he's like, I'm afraid Israel might get me if I keep, noticing Gaza and shit, And so as all this is happening, this huge mountain of data, and then you see Kash Patel alternatively celebrating how fast you can catch someone, as that's the metric of success for the FBI, even though there was 2 false alarms early by celebrating that you got the guy, one with Zinn and one with another, hey, we got him, everyone chill out, lower the perimeter, let our guys get out for a sec. Like every hallmark that AJ has educated the people to know about, they noticed, and they were waiting for someone to pick up that cross. And Tucker did it, and Candace did it, and everyone immediately saw the reaction to that was a convulsing Zionist shield wall of influencers coming forward going, cancel Tucker, cancel Candace, cancel Tucker, cancel Candace. And everyone thought, you're fucking nuts. And that started building them into giants. And then everyone showed up going, well, what do we do? Send them in, commit all of them, the heavy cavalry, commit the archers, send all my Zionists. And they just kept going into a monster, an incredible Hulk that they were feeding with their own, like, in fucking organic oatmeal that they were throwing on this. And Candace is like reaping all the benefits of like, all I'm doing is having the appropriate attitude to this. It's supposed to be you guys leading the charge here, but sure, I'll take everything that's just the fish jumping into my boat.
Does leading the charge mean that you get into the lane or angle of like, these people are suspects, so I declare them crisis actors. That's how I see this develop. That's what I said
is your father's best defense. It's like, yes, he's very cautious because he's literally been destroyed for speculating on something. And that's the most unfair thing I've ever witnessed. And so yes, I can completely understand your dad's position.
That was something that I pointed out to sorry, fuck, I just lost my y'all understand how fucking tired I am. I cannot complete sentences right now. But fuck, sorry. Go on, just take it over.
No, dude, I laid out a whole nuclear warfare on sacred cows there.
I agree with you. I agree with you in a lot of stuff you said, man. And I'm a big Tucker fan, and I guess Candace as well in a sense. But right now, Candace is positioning herself as the arbiter of truth, and she's doing it in a way that is not useful or helpful to the entire thing, because she's literally being embarrassed on the Mike Snow thing right now. People are proving their whereabouts, right? The alibis, it's gonna play out that Mike Snow is full of shit. I'm betting you right now.
For sure. But all
she could literally go
army
on and
already
and on
accepts
about
that it could be the case. It's not going to disrupt their day. It'll be like but meanwhile, they'll be celebrating a Tour de France win over in Evan Kilgore land.
That's the problem. You just tarnished, libeled, slandered a bunch of people as paid operatives, and then 5 seconds later, you're like, no big deal. No, it is.
Yeah, I think she should get sued for $1 billion. What do you say? I mean, at this point, all the things that she's saying,
the precedent, right?
Look,
that's the precedent. That's what happened to us. Why am I able to listen to the Candace Owens show on Apple Podcasts and get ads for Nordstrom's when you can't do that on InfoWars anywhere?
Why is she on YouTube?
Well, she is being sued by the government of France, and
But why should
personally? I don't know. Who's she being sued by? Harrison, you'll know this.
That'll be interesting. I hope that actually reaches its conclusion.
Well, it's not looking promising because they said they're going to bring photographic evidence. I'm like, photographic evidence?
I don't want to see that.
I'll give you a vagina right now and touch my balls for you. Then I'm a girl, according to photographic evidence? Get real. It's the worst form of evidence that they're expecting right now. It's hilarious. It's going to be like blood tests. It's going to be YY or YX. What are we doing here? It won't be a fucking photograph, which makes me think, oh my God, she's right.
What a bizarre thing for her to be involved in. And what a bizarre thing to have crossover into Charlie Kirk. See, okay, so here's my thing. I don't have anything against what Candace is doing. Honestly, I want you to understand, I do a 3-hour daily show. I do the gathering of all of my own news. And I will go on X and I hear people going, oh my God, did you hear what Candace said today? And I'm like, tight. I just booked 10 minutes of my show. I'm going to show Candace, and then I'm going to talk about what she discovered. And I go watch an episode, and I'm like, what the fuck? There's nothing there. And that happens episode after episode after episode. Now, I don't care. This is a criticism for me because it's not the content that I'm interested in. And I'm like, I want something to sink my teeth into. I've always given her all of the credit for releasing those text messages early on that you pointed out. That was a bombshell. That was something that was like, boom, nailed it. Made these people look like fools.
But Harrison,
these people were lying.
You could pick anything and just make it yours. You could pick the balaclava guy spotted on a roof holding a carbine, right? And you could get into confirming why the FBI has not interviewed that guy. And that could be your thing. Like, it doesn't need to be, it's like Candace is not stopping anyone else from being on the right train, but everyone is noticing when you try and shut down someone and you enforce this gospel narrative that Kash Patel, like, it's almost embarrassing how much they show.
No one enforces a gospel narrative. No one
Epstein
says the official story is true besides the Zionist people, right?
And
people that say the official story aren't true but don't agree with what Candace is saying is who we are and what we're representing here.
And that's exactly my point. So if I can like just get through the point without getting distracted, not a criticism, but the whole point is that the feedback. God damn, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm honestly, I'm just like,
yeah.
Hey,
the feedback loop created of people talking past each other.
Maybe, that could have been it. Who knows, man? That could have been it for sure.
Question for you, because I know, like, on our show, we've given Candace a whole hour on our last stream where Rex did his 8 pages and really dived into this. And sometimes I'm like, okay, we're giving her this like agenda. We're giving her a platform to speak about this nonsense while there's real stuff happening in the world. I really want to not diverge too much, but like the stuff that's happening in the US, have you seen the stuff with Somalia? And I'm sure you reported it on your show. Like I genuinely wanted to come on here and ask you about that because that was one of the things that I've seen.
Yeah, that shit is wild as hell. But you know, that actually makes you a Zionist agent too. I don't know if you know this. Talking about anything other than Zionism, like Islam,
you're not allowed
or the Somalis, you're just not allowed to do that.
At the end of the day, that's why I'm like, Rex, we're gonna give our viewers some value instead of talking about Candace sometimes, because she's just like not providing any value to society by these narratives.
And then I said to you. Yeah. And I said to you, I'm about to go deer hunting. I'm going to listen to every single Candace Owens episode. I'm going to download them all.
Yeah.
And then figure out the truth.
And then you did it. All right.
But what's your thought on the Somali stuff?
Well, hold on. I remember the thing I was going to say earlier.
Go ahead.
Let's get back on track. Because the whole point is since Charlie Kirk's murder, I've been in favor of what Candace Owens is doing. I've been watching her universe, and you know, whenever something that I think is really something that I find like worthy to bring on my show and present to people and go, look, here's what another great example is the calls, the Google searches from Israel of these names. That's something where I can be like, guys, here's what happened. These Google searches were discovered. They were made from Israel. They're super, like, there's no way this would be a coincidence. Here's what we can establish. We can establish somebody in Israel was searching and trying to find out who would be the responding. Okay. So that's something I can sink my teeth into. I can present to my audience. I can't spend all day, every day doing that. I got a billion other things to do. We've never had a problem with Candace. Then like this Mike Snow thing starts happening. To my perspective, I'm not even paying attention to it. I see Alex make some video where he's just like, we looked into this and it's not true. And Candace, you're off the mark. Like, you know, you got to focus up kind of thing. And then the feedback loop commences. And then it's Alex is trying to stop Candace. He's signing his age and this blah, blah. And so like earlier, I think you asked, basically like, why is this Fort Huacachuca thing? Why is it seen as like a cornerstone of Candace's? And I'd say that's not what's happening at all. I think like it was a escalation in what she'd been saying, because remember 2 weeks ago, Ben Shapiro was on stage with Megyn Kelly and said, Candace Owens is accusing Erica Kirk of murdering Charlie Kirk. And Megyn Kelly's like, she is? I don't think so. At that time, I would say that's not true. I'd say that she'd never made that insinuation. The closest thing she would have said, as that I heard from Candace, was like, he was betrayed by everybody, kind of like a general statement like that. With the accusation from Mitch Snow, as much as you can debate the day before that, well, he's 50%. We never said he was actually. What actually happened was Candace Owens presented this guy, reiterated over and over how credible he was in every way that she could confirm. And he made the accusation that Erica Kirk had foreknowledge of Charlie Kirk's murder. That is a major escalation in what Candace had been saying up to that point. And it made people mad because while everybody listening to me right now probably is viewing the world through like, damn, this Erica Kirk chick is shady as fuck. There's millions of people that are like, what the fuck are they doing going after, a widow? This is horrible. And again, it doesn't matter what you think about that. This is just the mindset in millions of people, a lot of people being mad that she would make an accusation like that on the basis of nothing but the word of this man. They look into the man and he is not a trustworthy person. If all you have is his testimony, his character and his trustworthiness is a valid vector of investigation or interrogation. So that's all that's happening is that here's this claim and it's like, holy shit, that's a big claim. I hope you have evidence to back it up. And it's like, oh, our evidence is we only half believe this criminal. No, he's not a criminal, but we only half believe this guy. And so then it's like, well, you shouldn't do that. And you shouldn't implicate a congressman that wasn't there. You can't just go to an eyewitness, even if he was, like they've proven he was at the camp. Nobody's at the base. Nobody is saying he wasn't, but like, that's not enough to go like scrolling through photos going, pick the guy that was there, pick the guy to implicate. Cause I don't think you should, I don't think you should claim people are involved.
I agree.
Two out of the 4 people named have been completely exonerated. And it's like, it hasn't affected the way this is being interpreted at all. So again, just to finish up and I'm done ranting, but that's all that's happened here. I'm not saying this is a cornerstone. And so that's why I feel like it's weird. Cause I feel like from the Candace side, it's like, oh, you think Waka Chaka is bullshit? Didn't realize Israel paid so well, shill. And it's like, oh, what the fuck? I didn't make this the cornerstone.
That's why we are offended by it. That's why we're offended by it.
Yeah.
And so, so that's why it's like, we never said that. Like, this is just, and so, but then if you just try to, like, all I've done, I feel all I've tried to do is like, be like, guys, this is what Alex is saying. This is what the criticism is, guys. Like, and you can say like, well, we didn't actually accuse her. And it's like, but you did though. Because if the accusation wasn't, there's Erica and Brian Harpel at the assassination planning meeting, then why the fuck are we talking about it? That is the accusation. That is the thing that we're discussing, right? So I just think it's disingenuous to act like that's not the claim. And then to say, oh, you're making this the cornerstone. It's like, I never made that the cornerstone. I agree with Candace about just about everything else. I laid out the argument about why Israel would want to kill Charlie Kirk, him moving away, why they would want to kill him before he moved away completely, all that stuff 2 days after the assassination. So it's like, I have people in my comments being like, you're just pretending to forget that he wrote these letters. I was like, I reported on that during 2025 because I saw Charlie Kirk give interviews where he talked about Zionist donors and looked nervous. And I covered it while it was, I'm probably the only person in the world because people had inside knowledge that this was happening. I didn't have inside knowledge. Nobody with inside knowledge is going to report this. And nobody else was paying attention enough to go, I think Charlie Kirk is coming under pressure from his Zionist donors right now. And actually send messages to Charlie Kirk to tell him, arise, Golem. They cannot restrain you. You are the man in charge. So anyway, that's my fucking spiel. Is it's just like, it's crazy, man. It's never been like Candace Owens is evil and all of this, but that's just what it becomes inevitably.
I mean, I met Tim at a bar on Rainey Street, and that night I was there. I can prove I was there. The metadata, all of it. I have all the information. I saw Tim kill the Trix rabbit.
Right? Yeah, I
saw him do it.
That's exactly what I did.
Look, and the Trix rabbit, I recognized it because I've seen it on the cereal box before. So I know I'm an eyewitness. Therefore, I can prove it.
And by the way, Harrison, because you are associated with Alex Jones and the InfoWars network, you're not allowed to criticize what he just said because your tying is right there. But me, because I have nothing to do with any of that right now currently, I can be critical of anybody. I can say whatever I want and criticize. So you don't have that permission because you're on InfoWars. Just remember that.
That's right. Nothing I say is my own. I'm a slave of Alex Jones. It's It's hilarious.
And I don't think has Owen been remarkably on the Candace Owens trail. I don't think he's been even, so if that was a theory, like Owen Schroyer gets away so we can talk about Candace Owens, I don't think he's been doing that. I think he's been doing a lot of, right? Am I correct? Or hasn't he been on the
talking about
I mean, I think he's been doing a lot of Trump glazing, right? Like, and this wasn't a main beat thing at all.
No, not glazing.
Well, look, it's my opinion. Look, I think that he's been on the second golden age thing, and I think that's been his beat for a while this year. It's like trying to find positive things coming out of the administration, and I understand that. I respect that, and I can agree with it. But at the end of the day, he's invested in this now because of the overwhelming size of the attack. Like, we were attacked on Christmas.
About your dad?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We thought you were talking about Owen. Yeah, your dad.
Yeah, we were attacked on Christmas. And it's not nice. Not a nice thing to do on Christmas.
What kind of person doesn't celebrate? Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's right. A loomer. Loomer, tiny hat.
Transplender, I sort of went off on a spiel there, and you
I loved it.
You tried to talk and I interrupted you. So sorry. Go ahead.
Like, I remember what I was saying. No, you were going on a good rant, man. No, I just think, like, there's been a fixation. So let's say Candace is firing like some bird shot and a few of it hits here, and fixating on the parts that miss and saying it's not worth firing this gun. That's how investigations and ruling stuff out is: you propose it, you rule it out, you move on. So once it's ruled out, it's a natural thing to move on. But detractors of Candace are very eager to make this the fatal blow. This is the final straw. And a lot of people are alarmed, and it feels to them like gospel narrative enforcement, which is a hallmark of a psyop, where you're not allowed to fall out of line with believing that. It's more so to believe that it was Antifa and leftism. That is the front for many. You guys know Garland, Texas, right? Didn't they have an FBI informant in the car with that shooter right up to the moment he's getting out? You know what I mean? Like, they have these people tracked. It's well known all about these. So even when you say it's Antifa, Trantifa, it's still like a Ray Epps furry boyfriend that he's got. It's still, you know what I mean? And these things need to be considered and suspected. And just the eagerness with which Kash Patel is celebrating. Nope, fastest we ever caught someone. That's what we do. We catch him real fast and we close the book real fast. Weren't those text messages? Like, sure, he's a stealthily born identity type guy, but then he sends naive text messages that wraps it all up in a nice bow for a prosecutor. Isn't that like, we don't even need to talk to anyone. Those text messages are enough. Don't think about this anymore. Lee Harvey Oswald was on the 6th floor. You know what I mean?
So, like, yeah. I'll give you a good example of like the frustration I have. The frustration I have with Candace Owens. And again, this is not me criticizing her, but like, this is what I feel like when I'm watching her show. So this guy sends me this episode being like, you got to watch this. Candace Owens like blows it wide open. I'm like, all right, tight. Watch the first 20 minutes. There's 3 claims in the first 20 minutes. The first one is that Colvett lied about the surgeon telling him the spine was made of steel. She heard from the surgeon.
Awesome.
She heard from the surgeon that it was a frangible bullet. So it came apart. So that I'm like, okay, but so then it could be a 30-06 if it was a frangible bullet. So does that undo? Like, that seems like a big fucking deal. If it's like, actually the surgeon said it was a frangible bullet, it rewrites everything we know about the ballistics, but she just moves on. So then it's like on to the next thing. And it's something, I can't even remember what the next thing was. But it was something else that was kind of like, wait, what did she just?
It was so many things, dude. It's so many things.
It was something. But then the third, but this is the thing. The third thing is she's like, it's convoluted, and I'm like waiting for her to get to the point. But basically, she's like, the local police searched the wooded area, didn't find the gun. The FBI showed up, told them where to search, and then they found the gun. I'm like, that's huge. That's a bombshell. It's like, okay, why were we talking about this other shit? I don't even get what that means. And halfway, like half of the thing about the finding the gun is she's like, wooded area? Is that a wooded area? It's more like
just think about how much money she's made. Just think about how much money she's made from every time she goes on live, says she has the hottest scoop, the weirdest story, the hot take that you need to pay attention to.
True crime.
It's getting her views, it's getting her eyeballs, and it is a grift. I can't see it any other way, just looking at it from the outside.
I mean, but as a human being, the dopamine rush she's gonna get from these scoops and from these positive feedback of views, it doesn't have to be nefarious. It could just be organic. But bro, can we?
It could be. But that was my point. Was that just like it's like okay, that actually seems like big information, but then it takes so long to get to it, and then it's like the evidence is she just is like, trust me, I talked to somebody, and that's what he said. So I'm like, all right, I can't then go on my show and go, guys, guess what I heard from Candace? Bombshell here. What's up, Chase?
What up?
What up? Welcome back, sir.
Look, Harrison, you're
abandoned
a
me.
guy. I've been doing this 30 years. And look, it was Tyler Robinson. We all know. And look, it's pretty much the same thing as blaming Israel. They're the ones that invented the trannies. But we know.
in the lab. Max wanted to talk to Trans Splendor. You think we could let Max come on?
Yeah, we can let Max up. What's up, Max? Maximilian?
Hey, what's going on? Can you guys hear me?
Maximilian. That is an awesome nickname. Maximilian.
What's up, brother?
My name was actually supposed to be Maximus at birth, but one of the parentals was against it. But anyway, I think Trans Splendor, you did say something earlier that did you say that Candace doesn't really have to make like an argument or claim? Is that what you said?
No, in an investigation, you rule out every scenario. So you will cover everything. And if someone wanted to use sophistry, they could name all the roads that led nowhere and say, so you're telling me an Egyptian plane took Erica Kirk to the sequined pantsuit store and then flew over to talk to a congressman. The way that they cobble together dislocated things is very easy to do. It's cherry picking. So, yeah, if that makes sense. I can keep ranting if it doesn't until someone mutes me.
No.
Okay.
I think I get it, but I want to hear Max's. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I get it. So you're just trying to talk about eliminating all possibilities, right?
Right. You don't trust the official narrative, so you rule things out that seem anomalous and seem weird, like the FBI not asking Harrison about foreknowledge, or that seems to be like a detective would say, was your husband worried that anyone would kill him? Like, it seems to be a fucking good question, right? Yeah. So the fact that it was left so long is absolutely bizarre. Match that with the fact that Kash Patel and Dan Bongino sounded like Saddam Hussein torture victims on Maria Bartiromo as they assured everyone that Epstein committed suicide, and they built their careers on a mountain of evidence to say that he probably was taken out by the deep staters, and then to just go, no, trust me, I've seen correctional facilities a lot. And then they go to fucking Bongino and he's like, oh, I've seen the file. Meanwhile, he made a living telling people they create fake shit for the file, so it's just a weird life that people are leading, where they were led to this water by AJ and all these great sources they trust, and then told to not drink. And then the only one saying, no, you can drink is Candace. That seems to be what it feels like to me, is that it's not Candace grifting. It's that there's free gold sitting in the middle of town. Candace is walking up, putting her hand in, and everyone else is hitting this force field. And every time they hit the force field, like a Star of David shows up in the middle of the force field. And they're like, fuck!
Well, I don't know. I think it is grifting because I think, Tim, I think you said earlier how many views Candace is getting on her videos on YouTube. 3 to 5 million.
3 to 5 million
live donation.
By the way, that's not even just that's ad time that she's getting from that. Right. That's sponsorship. That's literally people doing like super chats. You name it, man.
Yeah, not to mention engagement on X too. I mean, I can only imagine what those numbers look like.
But she's talented. She's pursuing the truth, and she's talented.
You can be a talented grifter. I mean, you can be good at grifting.
Be a talented grifter.
You can be a talented
not many people. I was mentioning this earlier. Not many people can go on Piers Morgan with his earful of producers, Chat GPT, gotchaing with sophistry and cutting you off every time you're building momentum and handle that. And she handled it really well. So to say she's not talented, even before the Charlie Kirk stuff, she was all. No, I'm not saying you're saying talented. That. Sorry, you're right. You're right. Thank you for that. But to say that this is all for the money, she was already like the 5th largest or something pre-Charlie Kirk. Anything about that?
I don't think it was.
You know what I mean?
She was
already there. She's already married into old money. I don't see that as an angle to this. I really do think it's a genuine. Like, everyone feels this way. Everyone knows it doesn't add up with Charlie. And so when they're trusted media and the sloppers, I'm not surprised with Tim Pool. I'm not surprised, guys. So those guys are meant to go extinct.
With that same category of people that shouldn't be trusted. No, I think she should honestly be lumped in with those same people, because she just shot. It's like you even admitted earlier, she shotguns things, and when those things are proven wrong by people like Alex, for example, she just goes on to the next claim.
The
she
flight
moves on
log,
fast enough
perfect example is the flight logs.
But she says she's going to release those. She says she's going to fix them.
You've already framed the debate as you need to satisfy this, or else you're failing. Where the investigation is, I'm ruling out everything. No, I'm ruling out everything. So I will consider everything.
Did
a
you
refrigerator
just
evidence,
and then she says,
hold on. We can't. I will mute you all.
One second. I gotta interrupt. Did you just say you're framing the conversation that if you don't do it this way, then do you realize that's exactly what Candace does?
No,
she does do that. Yes, she does.
No,
she low-key does.
She calls people a part of Operation Mockingbird.
I guarantee you, Fort Huachuca is a response to overwhelming dogpiling on her about tying Mitch Snow's credibility to Candace Owens. And they saw red meat and everyone jumped on it. And it was them. It was not Candace that was trying to make the hinge point of the entire case to be Mitch Snow.
No, you didn't understand my point. She's telling these people that you have to show me, Candace Owens, irrefutable evidence, like pictures of what you were up to that day, or Candace Owens, the arbiter of truth, is going to condemn you and you will be essentially found guilty in the court of public opinion as being implicated in a secret meeting with the government. And so you're saying that basically if they don't submit to her authority over their lives, that they are guilty automatically.
And to piggyback off that, there's no standard of evidence. If you provide an alibi, you're weird because she claims that, oh, why are you explaining yourself? That seems really weird that you're not.
Right. If you provide an alibi, you're guilty.
Max, you're not allowed to provide alibis. Of course not.
Like what? Right, exactly.
Okay.
So there's no winning. There's no winning with her, and
there's no winning for her either. There's no winning for her either. I mean, the day before she had a meeting with Erica Kirk, the main narrative that everyone was jumping on her for was, "Oh, you're best friends with Erica. You sold out. You got the call." And then the next day, she's like, "Well, this guy actually saw her." Would you do that with someone that you were a friend with and you were all pal with? So it's a Sophie's choice for her, anyways, and that's how people will interpret it. There's a wide birth for interpretation of events right now, and all I'm saying is more people understand her point of view than the point of view of slop serving. Right now, it's official narrative, and people that question it are being maligned. And she's the biggest one being maligned.
She spoke to Mike Snow. She spoke to Mike Snow before she met Mitch Snow, before she met with Erica in person. She could have asked her there.
Of course, but if she's best friends with Erica Kirk, which was the main narrative, why would she then go say, "Well, you might have been here"? That's not something friendly to do. So what I'm saying is, she would suffer the narrative of "you're best friends with her and you got the call. You must give us what we want." And then when she says, "Well, this guy says he saw her there," would I put this guy up if I was best friends with Erica Kirk?
Not
every side is going to be satisfied in this.
But Harrison, she talked to that guy, and that guy told her that he saw Erica Kirk at a secret meeting before she even met with Erica Kirk in person.
No, I know that I don't think makes any sense. But I mean, the narrative.
No, I don't think you described that right.
I think I think that's accurate.
That's what happened.
That's what, because she in the space yesterday was like explaining why she didn't bring it up to Erica Kirk. I can't remember what she said, but I think it was explicit.
No, I'm not disputing that she didn't talk to Mitch before meeting with Erica Kirk. I'm disputing that the narrative was she's besties with Erica Kirk, and then if you're besties with Erica Kirk and now you've given up and everyone's turning on you.
I've never heard that narrative.
Oh, it's been everything.
Was that like in the Candace? Well, wait. See, logic
destroying people's bad logic every day.
But logically, why? If she was her best friend, why would they have this summit with negotiations? And I'm not going to come to you. I don't feel safe. Like, how is that their best friends?
Live. So what I've always said is, if you want to know, if you don't know what's going on, the truth doesn't hide. You get out there. Harrison gets out there. People that don't have anything to hide get out and they tell the truth. When Erica Kirk approached Candace saying she wanted to have a meeting, that's very important. Erica wanted to meet with Candace.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Candace said, let's do it live. Candace said, let's do it live. And she said, no, let's not do it live.
I know,
but it's not always Candace's fault.
I guess what I'm confused at, I mean, that doesn't sound like two best friends negotiating a meetup. So
no. I'm saying the exaggerated narrative would appear that after the meeting, if she doesn't come out spitting fire, then all the detractors will go, see, she cut a deal. They want to bait her into more.
Okay,
There's a whole economy around
this is audience
or
capture.
supporting Candace Owens.
It's like a mob.
This is audience capture. If she will be
on
eaten by
both
her
sides.
own.
Oh,
by her
dude,
own
there's more audience capture on her detractors' side than on hers by far. But it happens.
Well,
in
then
every
she should. Then she definitely shouldn't give in to that. That is the worst thing. She's giving into something that will destroy her. But I want to hear what Max was trying to say a second ago.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No worries, man. What I was just trying to say was that no, she's not actually putting her money where her mouth is behind her claims. She just shotguns and she doesn't debate them. It's like Harrison was trying to press her on to make a claim. She wouldn't make a claim. She doesn't debate these things because she doesn't make a formal argument. And here, you know what? And I'll give the perfect example, and I'll actually use Rex's dad. So after 9/11, I'll give you a perfect example on how he did what he did and why it was so perfect. So after 9/11, Jones pointed out that there were an unusual amount of put options placed on American and United Airlines, right? So that would be premise one. Premise two would be unusually high put options shortly before catastrophe, I think is a strong indicator of foreknowledge of the event. Therefore, increased put option activity is strong evidence that some traders had foreknowledge of the attacks. Candace Owens doesn't do that. She just says, I think this is weird. I think this is strange. There's no conclusions. There's nothing.
No, she's brought the conclusions.
That is my frustration.
The conclusions come up to a point where you're going to need hard evidence, is what you're sounding like, and you're
she
not going to get
doesn't
hard
provide
evidence
it,
in a
and
banana
she-
republic
Yeah,
with a
like that,
complicit
No.
FBI.
And she
Where's
doesn't
the hard
provide it.
evidence? I'm confused here.
No.
I haven't seen a piece of hard evidence.
He's saying there's not hard evidence. He's saying that basically
you're
it comes to a
dealing
point
in a. Sorry, go ahead, Gareth.
I get what you're saying, that it's always going to be speculative because the hard evidence simply doesn't
Right.
exist.
And
So
is Roger Stone not allowed to
And
write
it's like,
a book about
well-
JFK's assassination? That's
He
huge
is.
I never
circumstantial
said
data.
that, but the other thing too is that, like I said earlier, not only is there no standard, but when it's provided, it's not good enough. It's never good enough. I think Phillips put out something a few hours ago that was photographic evidence of him elsewhere, not at the base. And she's like, well, you can just alter metadata and blah, blah, blah. It's never good enough.
You could keep
No, but it's a
And
simple
it
thing.
is-
She just said,
and
"Could you
listen-
text me a photo?" I don't think that's asking to jump through hoops. Can you text me a photo?
She
Because
doesn't
then
have
you
the
tell
right
if
to
it's
ask
been,
him
if
anything.
metadata's been altered.
He doesn't have to do that. She's the one making these
Okay,
claims.
well,
It's her
in
job.
order
she's
to
making
establish
it-
that, in order to establish this, you would have to erase the history of a track record of bringing forward receipts that are deceptive. You'd have
No.
to remember when you lie to a court once, they don't trust you again. Andrew Colvett has lied so many times and covered so many times that he is so untrustable that anything he touches should be suspect.
I get that.
First, what's that?
I think that's fine. I don't want to get off on because yes, this is the thing. Again, it's like, I'm not arguing this. No, I don't think anybody here is arguing this. They have lied. What's his name?
Yeah.
Brian Harpole, that interview with Sean Johnson, fucking weird. Like, a lot of shit was messed up about that. So it's like this is one of the weird things. People will bring that up and it's like, but I don't disagree with that. Again, the only thing that I'm talking about is this like meeting at Wakachuka. And the thing is, like, it would be different if Candace Owens had real evidence. Like, if she was like, hey, this guy provided me a photo that he took that day, doesn't that look like Cabot Phillips? Now you have to answer. Then I would be like, Cabot Phillips kind of needs to. But the fact is, at the end of the day, this is based on literally nothing. I mean, it's based on
And
nothing.
Can I
add
something where
that you can't demand people.
Candace didn't pressure cook the atmosphere. Her detractors pressure cooked the atmosphere. Like, there doesn't need to be this. Oh my God!
I don't think that's true.
If you don't do this, you're fucked.
Listen, here's the one.
Easy conversation.
All right, listen. All of this aside, right? I literally listened to the entire video. I watched Rex's entire 8-page transcript. We dove into it, right? The only thing that does not make sense to me about his story, I mean, there's a lot of things, but the main thing that doesn't make sense is if you were barred from coming on to like a base or a specific area for 30-something years, what are the chances that they let you just wander around a top secret clearance place and just like meander around just to find your way into finding this assassination meeting? Are they that stupid with all those cameras and guards when you're going back to go get this one thing and just be like, all right, here's your hall pass. Just walk around and go find a random room and go expose secrets. Like, just think about this logically. It does not line up.
But I don't think that your description is accurate of what he said, though. Like, first of all, he is a Green Beret. They did confirm that. They said that was a lie, but they did confirm he is a Green Beret. No one, like, you could grant this whole thing at the outset, and it doesn't change anything for most of Camp Candace. If you say he's bullshit, life moves on. That's another thing ruled out.
Okay,
but I get that it's unfair, that it's pressure cooked to the extent where it's unfair. It's unfair to someone to accuse them of something and put them on the defensive. I'll agree with you with that. But they are in a box of their own making. It's not like Erica Kirk went home to mourn. She took the stage. She defended Charlie Kirk. Frankly, if you have access to his phone and you don't acknowledge the times where they have been deceptive.
How are we?
No, you don't. I've heard a lot, guys. I need to say this. I want to say this. Okay, I know what you want to talk about. Of course, everyone always wants to talk about the one goalpost that they can hit a goal into.
You can that's not the only one. That's not the only one.
Okay, that's not the only one. But her successes eclipse everything that any of her detractors have done to get to any evidence worth value on Charlie Kirk.
Don't even talk this way about Alex.
If you want to do an audit of what she got right and got wrong, she would absolutely floor you with the stuff she got right that people are eager to dismiss her and destroy her character.
The Egyptian planes, the representative, Charlie Kirk coming to her in a dream. That's
it's all
the text message 48 hours before his death saying he feared that he's going to walk away from the Israel cause and he doesn't care about donors leaving.
Wait. Let me ask you about that one.
Was fake. That Andrew Colvett had those texts and he said nothing as everyone was trashing Candace saying that it was fake. And then finally he did like this phony ass, I'm going to get ahead of this story. How many times has he done that before people can rightly suspect that, you're going to probably have to provide a few receipts after lying that much? So it's been obscene. Charlie Kirk showed an incremental push away from Israel, and that the second he dies, they sit in his chair and then remember him as loving Israel the whole time is obscene.
We agree with all this, dude. We agree with all this. We agree with all this.
She's looking for answers to this, and people that are getting in that meat grinder have only themselves to blame.
Dude, we agree with all of this. We say all of this. This is the thing. It's like this is all. We understand all of this. It has absolutely nothing to do with the things that we're saying. Again, this is the weird part about this conspiracy theory is it's like we have never said anything about any of that other stuff. I've only explicitly said
that's the problem, though. You're not familiar enough with the other stuff where she got it right, and so you're in a forest alone with these things of her getting it wrong.
Every minute has to be deeply researched. You have to know everything that she puts out, and if you don't know what she puts out, then you're dishonest and you don't want to know the whole story. And
you
have to know her entire narrative. I'm fine. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna watch every single episode of her fucking show.
Just use AI. No, have ChatGPT do it. Don't do it yourself. No, look,
I'm happy to do it.
We're gonna have to close out in like 10 minutes or so. I'll read the super chats we have left.
Just let me say one thing real quick, Transplender. What you're saying is a perfectly fine method of operation. Is going to get her sued like crazy. It's not a fine method of operation. You can't sick the mob on people and slander people left and right, and then just say, no big deal. That's not how the world works, man.
I don't think she's been doing that. Where has she done that?
Oh, you don't think she's been doing that?
Just list me the case, because she often gets re-remembered by her detractors at loud volume, and then broken telephone turns it into something it's not.
It's gonna go to court.
You don't think that they're motivated to have launched that even before you said it?
Let me say something, bro.
Yeah,
it's gonna go to court. Lawyers are gonna argue that her mob has been unleashed. Guess what? That's what they did with Alex Jones. Do you think Alex Jones actually?
Billy.
Dude, do you think Alex Jones actually unleashed a mob on the parents of Sandy Hook? He didn't, but they got him anyway.
Right.
Well, yeah.
But what are you asking people to do? Live in the Truman Show and just be good actors reading their cue cards? No. People are going to look for the truth no matter who it is, who's there. And the people that want to hide in this,
that's not real.
No, people that don't want the truth getting out will destroy your character, and they'll say, you're going to do this. You're going to get people sued. You're going to do this. You're putting people in danger. She's actually not. She's actually not.
No, she definitely is.
Who?
Dude, listen, every single person that got accused of being in that secret meeting could definitely sue for defamation or slander or libel.
But how is she hurting them? That's 100%. When the court would have to give discovery, and they would have done it already.
The lawyers are going to argue this, and they're going to say
Erica's just choosing not to do that. If you think about it, Erica could literally sue her at this moment for everything she set up till now.
Craziness of them having a meeting and then her continuing to go down the line of attack after the meeting.
She's going to get sued. She's going to get sued. Like, Nick Fuentes broke it down that these kind of meetings that they have are to set you up to be sued, because there's a lawyer at this meeting and they present to you evidence that if you continue to tarnish their name after that fact, they can then prove that you did it maliciously.
Great point.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah, when you're making accusations, but I don't think she's been doing that.
Whoa, my!
I mean, I don't think like, you haven't told me.
I'm gonna leave that for the lawyer to argue.
Watched two different videos.
Okay.
I know, but
Google
dude,
it, bro. Okay, I'll Google it, bro.
I know, but this is the frustrating part. It's everything about it is like this. And I don't know why you guys are gaslighting about this, but it's like demanding alibis, and then they present an alibi, and it's like, that's kind of weird. Why would they? You only presented.
I don't think they ever demanded an alibi.
Yes,
I think the alibis were volunteered.
My God.
And
or else
when they were delivered, the first one was wrong. I heard her say, talking about the 9th, not the 8th.
Dude,
I heard her say that this guy presenting an alibi, she said, the only reason you'd want to present an alibi if you don't want people to think you were there, why would you not want people to think you were there? It's like, okay, so if you present an alibi, you're guilty. If you don't present an alibi, you're guilty. She can say that you were at the pre-planning assassination meeting, but she never said you were at the pre-planning assassination meeting. She said you were at the meeting before the assassination meeting, the day before, with the same people in the same area, but completely different. How dare you say I'm doing this? It's assassination. No, it's not an assassination. We only said we 50% agreed with this guy. Okay, but when we say, hey, this guy's not trustworthy, you call us shills and say that we're evil and that we're attacking the cornerstone of your argument. And it's like, you yourself say he's not trustworthy. You yourself say that he's only 50% and I'm not making this claim. So then when we say fuck Mitch Snow, why don't you go, yeah, fuck Mitch Snow, I agree. Like, why are you defending him? Why is he the thing that you have to, like, if this isn't true, if this is debunked, then it's all fallen down. And 2 of the 4 people have already been debunked. And there was no apology. There was no, oh, sorry, I got that wrong. I mean, if it wasn't that, Congressman, why doesn't she start showing more pictures? Like, what she should do is she should start again where she left off with Amadei, start scrolling through Congressman with Mr. Snow, and he can just identify one of them. And then that guy has to prove where he was. And if he doesn't have video graphic evidence of it, then he's guilty. This is an absurd way to carry on an investigation. It's an absurd way.
To say that there's no accusation that she doesn't accuse people. She had people combing the C-SPAN footage to try to figure out where he was at what time in DC. So to say, she doesn't make accusations, she's just asking questions. That's not true.
And not just go ahead, Tim.
And not just that, you ask us to look at her previous points, use those points to basically justify the current point, and that doesn't make any sense. And the only reason why is if you give 10 truths and 1 lie, and then somebody questions the 1 lie, you can't just sit there and say, well, you have to believe it because there were 10 truths prior to that. Think about just the flight log situation that Alex debunked.
You guys are in a hard proof. We need hard evidence world in a clandestine age of maximum deception, where you're never going to get that, and everyone understands that except you guys. I said at the outset, I would concede that Mitch could be wrong about everything, and it wouldn't change a thing. It wouldn't change a thing about, so that didn't pan out. It would change the thing. Okay, that's too much.
It would.
But the way that it's a fatal error to the other side is thou doth protest too muching. It's just, why are you so eager to shut this up?
Made the first mistake.
Why are you so eager to shut this down and go, oh my God, this Candace thing's so dangerous. It's so dangerous.
Listen, she already made the first mistake when you look at the fact of the flight logs. Alex Jones went on his show, literally debunked the entire thing. And then what does Candace do? She hops on a live and she basically says, my bad, guys, I got this wrong. But by the time she did that, right, there are probably 10,000 people that saw that live, millions of people, and immediately ran with that information. And that's the whole point of why defamation is hard. Yeah. People read headlines, they watch content, and then they run with that before having the entire thing. So there's like 2 days before that all gets sorted out.
Why are people doing that? It's not Candace's fault. It's the lack of faith in your investigative organs in America and the world. Like it's not her
fault
that people are rightfully questioning things.
All right. Well, the judge in the court case is going to make this decision for us, and I can pretty much guarantee you it's not going to be in favor of Candace Owens, because we already saw what happened with Alex Jones, where with basically no evidence whatsoever, they defaulted him in judgment and didn't even let him make an argument.
I just saw
which is why I understand his caution on this.
The thing is, the thing to understand is Alex caused zero material damages to anyone. Alex may have said what he said, and you can disagree or sue him over it or do whatever. The big thing was no one ever peed on graves, no one ever showed up to these people's homes, no one's ever able to produce a video or receipt of any of this happening. I bet the same is not going to be the case with this scenario. I bet some people are going to get harassed and visited over this. Yeah. And that's a real thing.
Are over. Every single person she's accused is never going to live this down.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is that Transplender, you have to understand that why you have to demand really, really good evidence is because these are really, really, really bold claims that implicate some of the most powerful people, not only in our government, but also in media. Even anybody that disagreed with her, she started living as a part of Operation Mockingbird. Yeah, that's a pretty serious, bold accusation when you work for the CIA. Too, and she never does. She just throws these things around, and she keeps thinking that these don't affect people's lives when
I thought she was getting accused of that at MI6.
No, who?
Right? It goes every way. You can like
AJ was talking about.
We can cherry pick every reaction we want, guys. Like everything, and then say this is the problem, but it's really not. But people get it, guys. People get it. No matter what any of us say, everyone knows that it doesn't add up about Charlie Kirk's death, and everyone knows that if you oppose that narrative, your character gets attacked, and people's obsession with attacking Candace, the person, over what she's bringing to the table, which is we have victim blaming her because there's no faith in. You're never going to get hard evidence. It's like saying, I'll wait till Alan Dulles tells me the truth about Lee Harvey Oswald.
Okay, listen.
Stop speculating.
Okay, all right.
All
right. As New Groiper says for $5, thank you, sir. We are not asking for hard evidence. We are asking for any evidence. So someone please shoot me in the face. And that's the thing. And it goes to what?
Can I give the evidence?
It goes to what Max was saying about like you have to have this argument. You have to be able to go, hey, they were at this meeting. You know who else was at this meeting? This person that was here. Like if you look at the JFK assassination, it's not like George H.W. Bush may or may not have been at a base where they may or may or not have been. It's like, no, he was on the fucking ground in Dallas and he lied about remembering where he was. You know, so it's when these things happen, it's not this vague. And again, I don't like the disingenuousness of you are making the accusation and then you claim that you're not. That is a lie. And you know it's a lie. And I don't that's the way
I think she was incredibly caveated when she brought him on to say, I can confirm he is where he is. I can't confirm that he saw who he saw. That's what she said from the beginning. She was
then why bring it up?
But him being there, yes, but him being there is not the point. We don't care if he was there. We care if those people were there.
It's easy to rule out. That's why I bring it up, because it's a falsifiable claim. That's what people should want, is a falsifiable claim. Then you rule it out. But to treat it like it's the end of Candace, we finally found it, guys, just exposes too much about that.
Again,
weird
nobody.
By the way,
people are running away from that, you guys.
Just
FYI.
She's just talking head.
How could you falsify
at the end of the day? You put a bunch of faith into people.
Hold on. Max and Rex are talking. Sorry.
Go ahead, Rex.
Well, when you put a bunch of faith into anybody and you talk about them like they're the great leader and they're doing whatever investigation and then they can do no wrong, ultimately you can't really view anyone like that. You can look at people as good people, even great people, but everyone makes mistakes. And I think the most charitable version of events that I can ascribe to all this is that she's made a mistake by going too far. That's what I believe.
That's a good point.
I think that by questioning the investigation in the particular way that she has questioned the investigation has made further questioning of the investigation harder, nigh impossible going on into the future, because in a year
they would investigate it.
Well,
you know better than to say something like that. You know they're not going to investigate it.
No, he's talking about us investigating. No, he's talking about us investigating it. Hold on. He's talking about us.
Fastest catch ever of an assassin.
Anyone
in all getting covered up.
You're misunderstanding. I'm gotta mute you now. You misunderstood him. He was not saying that the officials. He was saying it makes it harder for us to investigate because it dominates the conversation and you can't get out from under it.
You get accused of being a Candace Owens
I don't think Candace has stopped anyone from developing cold fusion technology. This distraction argument where it's stopping us She's taking all the oxygen. No, people are crying out for people to investigate the balaclava guy.
I'll explain that.
People are crying out for you guys to pull the threads.
I will literally explain exactly how it works because it's already happened to me. It's that I've spent the whole time since Charlie Kirk's murder paying attention to all of the investigations. Candace's, everybody's. I've paid attention to all of it. And when there's something of value, I bring it to the table. Now, I guarantee you from now on, any fucking thing I say about the Charlie Kirk assassination, doesn't matter what I can say. I can literally right now post on X. I bet if I post Israel killed Charlie Kirk, I will have people underneath it going, yeah, right, Zionist shill. So this pretty much from now on, everything I try to say about the Charlie Kirk assassination, despite the fact that I've been on the forefront of the whole fucking thing and probably kickstarted the whole fucking thing, I'm not going to be called an Israeli shill because they're getting their panties in a twist over criticism of one incredibly worthless piece of evidence that she's using to go after what is potentially, and I know you don't agree with this, but consider for a moment the possibility that Erica Kirk could possibly be nothing but a grieving widow, and consider the actions in that light, because that is, however small, a possibility. And when you look at it that way, it's no wonder that people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you right now and not before? Because right now she's accusing Erica Kirk where before she didn't. So to act like this is like, out of nowhere, what is going on? They all hate this thing. And it's like, because you've never accused Erica Kirk, and because that is something that you should not do as a decent human being if you don't have not just good evidence, how about any fucking evidence to make the claim? And if you don't have any fucking evidence and people call you out on that, don't say they're Israeli shills that are getting paid for it. That doesn't even make any fucking sense. I'm getting paid to defend Alex Jones, who's criticizing Candace Owens. Am I getting paid by TPUSA or Israel? It's fucking stupid. So, but it's stuck. It's here now. And I blame that entirely on Candace Owens because I'm sorry, she's literally insane. I mean, God damn, I didn't even want to get to this point. But
I blame it on Loomer for capturing the zeitgeist on Christmas, knowing people were upset with Alex, and then coming from the top rope with the chainsaw.
And people who hate Loomer, and people who hate Loomer and understand that she is a runner of psyops, that she is a foreign intelligence operative, don't understand that she might lie, that she might like use double speak, that she might hug you to death by associating you with somebody that she knows her enemies hate so you can separate them. It's like you people fucking study this all day and you haven't figured out a 2-layer operation yet. It's like, it's fucking infuriating, man.
I think that I don't think people are
don't give a fuck about that. You're a veteran, Harrison. Do you really give a fuck about the peanut gallery? There's so many people that hate me in this, probably in this live right now. I don't care. You say your opinion, and your family, your close friends, ignore the noise, brother. Do what you think is right.
I don't care. I don't care if it's detractors, but it's when it's people that are like in our arena that like we have worked with, that we like, you know, share an audience with.
Oh yeah,
that are
fuck
like,
them all.
That
you
are saying
throw
shit.
People out all the time. People are failing their test all the time, Harrison. You got to throw them in the trash.
I'm actually trying to fucking save the world, dude. I'm trying to like unify about this, and I swear to God, it's like I don't know what is okay. Here's this. How about this? Let's end with this. Everything the Candace Owens people say is exactly what fucking Israel says. It's all, oh, well, you know, sure, we may have accused some people, you know, unwittingly and demanded them. But hey, war's complicated. It's an investigation. I mean, you got to go where it leads, right? War is hell. So what if we kill some kids? And it's like everything is like boils down to that. And it's kind of fucking weird. It's kind of fucking creepy that it's all this double speak, like Israeli argumentation style that I see.
She is gonna get sued, dude. You don't understand what's happening right now. The government is probably feeding her false leads. That guy, because he was a whistleblower or he found something with the cartel 30 years ago, would not have security clearance today. It's dumb on its face. It makes no sense.
I'm right there with you, bud. That's what
well, it also goes back to what Transplanter was saying, that like you know, about falsifying claims. These are claims you can't falsify. You see, how on earth would you be able to falsify what was said at a secret military meeting involving some of those powerful people, allegedly? How can you falsify any
them being there?
What's that?
Falsifiable claim was them being there.
But even if they were there,
okay, you know what?
Even if they were there, you don't know what they said. You don't know what the meeting was about.
That's why I'm not saying what they said. I'm saying the falsifiable claim is they were at a place.
Here's the thing.
Why does it matter?
Right. People still bring it up as if it means something when they can't even prove or falsify what was said at the meeting. And the other thing too, this is just a total false dialectic being presented that you have to either agree with the FBI's official narrative or you're just believing in whatever Candace Owens would say. You don't have to fit into either camp. You can think that things Candace Owens is saying is absolutely crazy and bonkers and what her other people are saying, and you can find really problematic holes in the official story being presented.
And you can express that without trying to somehow disrupt Candace Owens' investigation.
Yeah, look, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen in the future because we do have to come to a close here. I'm going to tell you, man, it's not how you think. What's going to happen in the future is the same way they did Alex Jones dirty and they made him a scapegoat, and that now moving forward, they can hold you in default if you question an official narrative in a way that they don't like. And you say, oh, what damage does it cause? Oh, it caused permanent damage. There's legal precedent now. And so the same thing is going to happen now with more this sloppy handling.
But that's not Candace's fault. That's the wokeness of the judiciary. That's the corruption of your society. It's like you have to get out of bed. You still have to do the right thing, even though it's dangerous.
No, dude, I understand. Alex Jones did the right thing by exposing Sandy Hook because I supported him exposing Sandy Hook. But the thing is, you have to do it in a way that's not sloppy. That's our whole point. You cannot.
For sure. And that's what I said at the start. When AJ was opposing this, I'm like, dude, you are like the Gandalf that can guide this Frodo to Mount Doom. You don't need to say, you fucked up, Frodo, I'll throw you in Mount Doom. You need to say, you fucked up, I can help you. You know,
that is how he started, dude.
Well, I hope that it continues and gets back to that then, because if the temperature would just get lowered, everyone wants brother AJ to be the Gandalf over Candace's Frodo.
But here's
the right choice.
Who's Candace is the one controlling the temperature, claiming that other people that disagree, like asking Alex, "Are you okay?" Like talking down to people that are disagreeing.
And saying, "I'm sorry."
I heard the first shot thrown at her from brother AJ about mental issues. I heard him immediately raise the temperature to, I'm worried about her mental health, right? So that's not nice to do. And that's what I said. I did a rant. I responded to his tweet and said, sorry, dude. Okay. I think you're amazing. You're a legend.
All right. But listen, today I tweeted that apparently months ago, my source today said to me, hey, I told George Farmer I was your source months ago. Verbatim, that's what he said to me. I said, oh, really? So they know you're my source? And he said, yeah, they know. So, okay, interesting. So then today I tweet out, hey, by the way, here's something funny. My source told George Farmer that he was my source months ago. They've known this whole time. Candace then responds to that saying, you structured your tweet in a way to insinuate that we knew about this before Charlie was dead. And it's just like, it is, I don't know. I'm not saying she's insane and needs to be like, institutionalized. I'm literally not saying that, but she's lying. Like, it's just, she's literally arguing with something I did not say. You could not interpret it that way. She literally makes things up and says, you're trying to say that I knew about this beforehand. If I knew about this beforehand, we would have reached out to Charlie. And it's like, I never claimed that. I never said anything that could make you think I claimed that. So why are you saying that? That is kind of crazy, dude. That's kind of hallucinating, or it's lying. It's one of the other. Why would you say that?
Well, Harrison,
I saw that, but I think honestly, you're getting conflated with a group of people who have been harassing her day in, day out, that we have at a festival dismembering them every day as the Tim Pools.
No, I don't think
the Ian Miles Chong have been shaming themselves every day. So you're talking to someone that encounters that every day. So the same mistake she would make would be assuming that. And I think that they were too hard on you about that. I was like, whoa, that's really overcooking it. The guy's in here debating.
She's been doing this with everybody who disagrees, dude.
She enjoys using the weight of her audience to crush people.
No, I've seen a combative attitude coming from her detractors. It's been hysterical. Everyone sees it. They not Harrison, but there's people that act like literally saltwater drinkers that their audiences are running from them. It's like you could never do this.
And this is
Tim Pool sounds like a fucking lunatic.
Yeah, Tim Pool. And again, it's like,
dude, for what? Okay, hold on.
Go ahead.
Okay, dude. What did Tim Pool do? Candace Owens put his face on the cover of a video that was titled "Who Benefited from Charlie Kirk's Assassination?" And again, given the times where conservative commentators are not only being killed, but threatened and doxxed, yeah, I don't blame him for being upset with her and that type of rhetoric floating around that he benefited from his death. And by the way,
and she has definitely benefited more than anybody else.
Yeah, again, like Tim said, 3 to 5 million views. And not to mention ads and
Tim wanted to smoke. He was continually harassing her from the bleachers, going, "This degenerate cunt said this," and then you investigate what he said, and it's like, no, she didn't say that at all.
Well, Tim's grifting. His numbers
this
are down.
Is the Israel thing. Right. They won't tell you what they do, only what the response is. This is what I'm saying.
Oh, I totally agree with you. The tribality of it, the tribe demands tribute. You know what I mean? It perverts shit. I agree with you, but we're not going to change it.
And
here's
the last thing I'll say about this topic.
We got to close out now. I'll do super chats after this. Let's get a last word from everybody.
There are things that you don't say. Candace, and not just Candace, there's the ability for a lot of these top head speakers. They don't have to explicitly say something in order to get the point across. There's a thing in psychology where you can make people fill in the gaps, and you can frame a story in which you give them the beginning and you give them the end, and you strategically and the reader or the audience creates the middle. And it's a psychological thing that everybody, if I said, oh, Rex went to a bar, it was a gay bar, then you have to assume then you have to assume what's in the middle there, right?
You have the metadata to prove it.
He's in trouble. We have to save him.
But the whole point stands. It's like, look, I don't have to sit here, listen to Candace Owens and like she'd be like, oh, well, you can sit there and be like, well, she never said Erica was at the meeting and X, Y, and Z, and that Erica was part of it. No, she framed it in which she gave the end. She gave the context that you need to know. She forgot to leave that in there. And then she just let the audience go and decide for themselves what that middle piece was. And you create that gap so narrow that it's impossible to interpret it any other way. And that's my issue.
I would say that is a interesting interpretation. I think it's too generous. I think she named the title of the episode was "What Happened at Fort Huachaca the Day Before Charlie Kirk Was Murdered." Answer: Erica Kirk in a secret meeting. That is the type of meeting that happens ahead of a major operation, like the assassination the next day. So it's like, there's no like even filling in the gap. She's saying Erica Kirk was at the assassination planning meeting and pretending that she's not.
Explicitly say that, Harrison. Careful.
Exactly.
She didn't explicitly say it.
Yeah. See, but and my whole thing is like earlier, John was bringing up stuff, and it could be accurate about associating family members of Candace Owens with like the Sandy Hook operation, and like I just even like the idea of presenting that without being like, well, I'm going to go through this and make sure everything in it is like 100% legit. Like I get nervous. I'm like, I can't, no, we're not accusing anybody of anything without actually looking. So the idea that she's like, I'm going to accuse Erica Kirk of going, but then pretend that I'm not, it's disingenuous, man. She doesn't have that same instinct I do of being like, well, hold on. We don't want to, not because I'm scared of being sued or something. I'm just like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to present something that's not
sell your soul, man.
Well, people criticize my dad a lot back during Y2K, right? And like he's apologized for some promotional things that he did during that time. And I think that Candace Owens will look back at this time period maybe with a little bit of the same experience.
Well said.
So to speak. That's my opinion.
And I wonder
on this whole thing.
If it gets to the point, like there's this big blow up, there's this big contention, everybody's at each other's throats. If in a week from now, it could be a week because they're going quickly. If in a week from now, solid evidence has been produced, legitimate, verifiable alibis for everybody claimed to be at the meeting, and this whole thing falls to the wayside and we never hear about Fort Huachaca again, will anything have been learned from the Candace side? Will they just do exactly the same thing over again, cause exactly the same trouble, exactly the same like baseless accusations? Like I think they will, because there's been no contrition. They already got 2 of them. 2 out of the 4 are wrong. There's been no apology. There's been no, gee, that was wrong. Who was really, they aren't even trying to find who the real person was. He saw somebody. If it wasn't Cabot Phillips, who was it? Oh, it doesn't matter because it's a meeting that has nothing to do with the fucking Charlie Kirk assassination. Great. We're right. Can we get an apology? Like that's going to happen. I'm sorry. This is not going to come to anything. If it is, I will apologize. I promise you, if this turns out to be anything, I will say I was wrong. This was something. However, I will still not be wrong about the fact that you should make these accusations with this level of evidence. That is actually still true. Even if the accusation is correct, you should have more evidence before you make it, in my opinion. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, let's final words from I don't know who wants to go next. Right, Rex, have you given your thoughts?
I think I've given my thoughts throughout the broadcast. Ultimately, the thing about a charged subject like this is you're not going to get people to be able to agree with each other immediately or even for a while. It's a type of thing where we'll have to see the entire thing play out. And the argument that the Candace Owens supporters make is you just don't have enough context or information. And you know what? I think that's fair. I think that if you have one of the biggest platforms in the world and you're live streaming and you're doing all these accusations, the least the people could do that are affected by the accusations is to research your entire discography and see what you have to say. So I will be doing that. And
please don't waste
it's a
your
long-term project, but I'll be doing it throughout the month of January. I'll be listening to her last 30 days of streams, and I'm going to try to learn about this and really understand, because from what I took away from the Fort Huachuca Waka Chaka scenario, which I did a 10-page thing on, I did minutes of it. I wrote it all down. I posted it on my X. I see multiple lies. I see multiple contradictions. I see multiple insinuations of guilt and then insinuations of divine providence. And I ain't seeing it. And more than I'm not seeing it, I'm starting to get really pissed off with people in my comments, in my dad's comments, everything, saying the most vile, reprehensible shit to us ever. And these are people that claim to have been fans or listeners or supporters before, but this is the one thing that's caused them to completely break with our narrative or whatever they say it is that we're trying to make people believe, which in my opinion and in Alex's opinion is the truth. They say, oh no, you can never be trusted again because Fort Huachuca Waka Chaka Baka Baka is the end all be all in proof of this happening. And this congressman was there. Erica Kirk was there at the hotel. The head of security was there. And if you don't believe in that, you're a Zionist agent. And I'm just done with that. And like I said, I'll do the research and maybe my mind will change about the whole thing. I will watch all of her videos. I will become a Candace Owens head, but I'm not doing this shit anymore where we just character assassinate my dad and then laugh about it and dance on his body when he's the person that built this entire fucking thing. And you people are very ungrateful.
A lot of people did build it off the back of him because he was the first person to actually do a lot of this. The Fuentes wouldn't exist without an Alex Jones. I can say that for sure. You know, they copied his flow. So
that's my closer. And like I said, I'll be watching the videos. So it's all fair. And I appreciate your point of view, man. I really do, because it's not good to be in an echo chamber. It's good to hear what someone that is a true believer in this stuff has to say or what they think about it. And ultimately what I took away from this is you don't think she makes accusations. You don't think that she makes accusations. So we just can't meet there, man. And that's what I got to say.
Dude, it's your dad, and your dad is an absolute legend. So I'm not swayed by this. Don't conflate everyone that makes it so black and white. No one wants to choose. There's absolutely zero appetite for people to choose Candace over AJ. It just feels like Candace's position is everything AJ has taught everyone about.
It's by design.
31 years of cultivating an audience to see the glitches Candace is seeing. And what's happening right here, if you plug this into Bayes' theorem and you entered prior probabilities like the CIA regularly uses, you would see that there's a prior probability of patsies being cultivated. There's prior probability staring you in the face of Ray Epps' that should be getting more jail time than anyone that's getting skirted away. And then the same furry boyfriend getting skirted away. There's so many hallmarks that everyone's seeing of what the CIA and clandestine services have been doing.
We understand all of this, dude.
Sure, I know you understand.
We agree completely with all this. 100%.
What about
the narrative will do for the Charlie? I can't really, guys. Honestly, what the narrative will do is it will solidify. Everyone knows the hallmarks of a psyop. There's a gospel narrative, and if you challenge it, you're attacked. Everyone sees that Candace is being attacked for not agreeing with the narrative that everyone has been cultivated by Alex Jones to notice. Alex Jones has brought people up to a Jedi level, and now they don't think you make sense. They think that you are a projection, the same way Hillary Clinton would project onto Trump that he has Russia connections. You guys are projecting onto Candace. It must be an operation. But when you look at the prior precedent of these operations, it's always been the side of the FBI and the official narrative, which has always failed 100% of the times. So there's no reason, and people don't get it. And people don't get when you just give up on that narrative and say, I'll go along with it. It couldn't be anything Candace is saying. No, everyone spider sense goes off and goes, no, we're following that because that's AJ energy that Candace is carrying right now.
Dude, people are also utilizing the AJ method against Candace's claims, against what she's claiming as evidence, looking into it, making sure it's true. Is it false? We're using the same method against her and her assertions.
Right. So let's do an accurate audit of that. What you have a problem with of Fort Huachuca, how many points would you ascribe to that? In favor of Candace's on
about 20 to 30.
Not a lot,
20 to 30, right. And we can go through them all. I got
no, but you can make it high points. Like it's negative 500,000 points. But she gets plus 20 million points for saying Charlie Kirk was messaging 2 days before he died that he feared that he's leaving the Israel cause. He tweeted a month before he died, and Harrison Smith reported it, that he feared for his life. And that makes everyone think of the rest of things that unfold as that's fucking weird. Shouldn't Erica Kirk have seen all these texts? Shouldn't she be privy to all this? Why is she going along with exactly what her husband was walking against? Everyone sees the glitches, guys. You can't hide from it.
We are the ones who said, like, we've said all of it. This is all well known. But this is
then it's just about who holds the ring. I'd rather it be Harrison who holds the ring. It just happens to be Candace right now.
No, we're supposed to be on the same team, man. You know.
Well, you see what the ring does, right? You see the things surrounding Candace, and I've seen her she got 2 knives out against you a little bit, Harrison. When she had people there, she should have been coddling you as the one opposition. That's what I expect. Okay, shut up, guys. Let him speak. Everyone's against him, so let him speak whatever he wants. That's how Harrison should have been treated. So they encourage more guests to come up and argue because that's actually interesting, and it's not a fucking echo chamber, right?
Which goes to show
that's why I'm coddling you right now.
Who died and made her the king? Who died? I want to know. Was it Ben Shapiro? Was it my dad? Who died and made this bitch king? Seriously, I'm sick of her. Sick of it. Absolutely sick of it.
Well, and I would just say,
I'm gonna watch it all.
I would just say that I think it's almost like when it's like Blue Anon, right? It's like when the left wing looks at the right wing, they don't understand why we say the things we say, so they just assume that it's crazy, right? They just go, oh, these people just make up crazy conspiracy theories about children in the basement of pizza parlors because they're just nuts. And so then they're like, I guess that's what we'll do. So now we'll say that, oh, Trump actually was making a swastika on the ground with his foot. I saw him. And it's like, that's not what we do. No, we are going off of like crazy WikiLeaks emails about Moloch. Like we have evidence. And it's almost the same to me with Alex Jones, where it's like, yeah, you are supposed to investigate everything, but you're supposed to do it in a way that is responsible because you understand that to do it in a way that's irresponsible is worse than not doing it at all, because you're not only going to mess up the investigation itself, you're going to put people off from the investigation. You're going to put people down rabbit holes that they, are going to waste time on. How much energy has been wasted on this? And you and I both agree that there is no point. If it was proven that this meeting happened, and if it was proven that this meeting didn't happen, nothing changes, which has been my point from the very, very beginning. From a week ago, Tuesday, I did a big rant where I just kept going, what is the claim? What is the point of arguing this? Why are we talking about planes and alibis? Even if it's proven, this changes nothing. So how much energy has been wasted on this nothingness that will likely be disproven? It's all just, I don't know. And I don't think Candace Owens is being controlled by anybody, but I think she's dishonest. I think she changes the goalpost. I think she uses the excuse of I'm just investigating to make claims that she can't back up, and none of it builds on each other. And that's the most frustrating thing to me, is that she spent 3 months doing a daily show, and except for the text messages, which was one of the first things she did, I can't think of a single thing that she's brought to light that is valuable and substantial and meaningful in any way whatsoever. She's called out a bunch of like mistruths and misstatements and weird activity, and I give you that. However, I've seen more impactful stuff, like with the Google searches. And this is the thing, even the things that like are true, like the Google searches from Israel with all the names, why is that not being built on? Why is that not like been like, okay, that's been established, let's investigate that? It's almost like, okay, here's this crazy breakthrough. Now we're moving on to this thing I heard in a dream. And it's like, well, you're supposed to build on that. If that's real evidence, then that should become the core of a greater investigation. Instead, it's all of this separate insinuation and implication and nothing substantial, no claims, we're nowhere closer to knowing who is the killer or how they got away or who's covering it up. There's none of that. I've watched a lot of Candace. There's a lot of insinuation. There's a lot of names. There's a lot of dates. There's nothing to sink your teeth into. So I don't know where these points are that you're getting for her. She has been out there questioning it, but so have a lot of people. She's not that effective.
I 100% agree with everything you just said, man. I have nothing to change about what you just said. That's exactly how I would frame it in my mind, and that's the whole premise of it. I think all the slop that they throw out there and all the things we talk about literally just takes away from the truth. And in general, there's more important things that are happening. We said on this live, we spent 2 hours debating about Candace when the American people are getting robbed from underneath their nose in Minnesota. Yeah. You've got billions out of $18 billion, 50% of it was taken away. We're giving her, she's putting crazy stuff out there.
You're distracting. You're distracting from Candace Owens. We have to talk about Candace Owens.
But it's taking,
that's it though, right?
It's taking air away from the real problems that are wrong with our society. Yeah, even if we find out who killed Charlie Kirk, right?
And see, here's the beauty of it, Tim. We can talk about it for 2 hours and we can have a debate about it and you have ideas go back and forth. But the instant you mentioned that, it's all invalidated and you were trying to cover the entire time.
Give me my 7K. I'm a show.
That's why we're done with this shit.
I want my 7K.
We're just trying to do a show with our honest opinions, and then people come at us and tell us that we're controlled. When in my case, I've been working for over a decade. I know Harrison has as well. And these Johnny come lately wine mom people that want to get interested in new true crime thing come and tell us that we're not legitimate. That is no more.
It's bullshit. I mean, literally, I'm looking at my notifications right now, and it's just like it's honestly depressing listening to Harrison on this. I thought he was one of the good ones. 2025 has been a year of massive disappointment. Yeah. What the fuck did I do? What did I do fucking wrong?
From grace.
Literally all I've said.
Yeah,
God damn. And it's just like, Candace Owens has not done a show in almost 2 weeks now. How are y'all this obsessed? And it's like, she's tweeting, she's doing live, she's posting on Instagram, she's interacting with this, she's stirring up the pot. It's fucking everything about this is disingenuous, dude. This is what pisses me off, is it's all this snarky, she hasn't even done a show in 2 weeks. She's not constantly interacting with all of this and directing all of it. Her show is the only thing.
And I don't like that message of oh, are you okay? To my dad knowing he's been sliced up. She's fully aware. It's beyond anything.
How about the next one? Fully aggressive. I've never seen Harrison Smith and InfoWars so focused on one issue or trying to debunk conspiracy theories. Here's what I've done so far. I've put out 2 tweets and then I 2 tweet threads about this where I was going back and forth on people. I talked about it last week on Tuesday, talked about it on Alex Jones' show today. And it's I've never seen anybody this obsessed. This is all projection, dude. This is all why are you so obsessed with the Jews? Why is everything about Israel? If you're so obsessed with us, because you're the one killing babies. That's why everybody's obsessed with you. Genocide. Why is everybody coming up after us all of a sudden? Because you're accusing an innocent person with no evidence, and that's wrong. That's the reason. You don't have to find ulterior motives for this. But this guy continues. When was the last time you spent weeks fixating on debunking a conspiracy theory? We're not debunking anything. We're saying this is wrong and stupid and pointless. It went away. And it's been 2 days, or it's been 3 days or whatever. I was beefing with Laura Loomer 2 minutes ago, but apparently it continues. You're jumping the shark. This raises a red flag. Either Candace is kicking your butt in viewership so bad it's a pylon, right? I can't have real views. I can't actually say what I believe. Everything has to be cynical. Everything has to be Machiavellian. Everything that we do is about views, about getting, as if Candace is the most popular person and that we could glom on like that to all these other scum suckers are doing it and getting views out the wazoo. Nothing these people say makes any sense. None of it is valid. None of it is legitimate criticism. None of it is based on anything I've actually done. But then if I defend myself, it's why are you so obsessed with this? Your slavishness to TPUSA. Oh, no, I'm sorry. She's right. This is Hasbara or Project Esther. Your slavishness to TPUSA, which is a Zio-fascist front, suggests that the hundreds of millions poured into TPUSA are trickling down to you. That's right. I'm being paid. I'm being to what? To say this is fucking stupid, to say you don't actually have anything. Prove me fucking wrong. Prove me fucking wrong.
That's a way to
investigate. You have to investigate it.
And that's a way to invalidate your opinion from the jump, because you go, oh, you disagree with me on this conspiracy thing? Then you therefore are paid off because you don't have my opinion. And then, like, where are you supposed to go from
I'm
there?
getting paid out by Israel. I'm Project Esther Hasbara, and they're so disappointed in me because they used to trust me. Dude. And then it's just like, oh, why are you getting so emotional? Because those are the first 3 things I see in my notifications, and there's 10,000 of that. And nobody can explain to me what the fuck I've said that makes anybody think I'm anything other than honest.
You know, we want people to believe in us if we're telling them.
Can we read super chats? Any super chats?
Oh shit, I need to read super chats. All right. Is there a Saturn symbol on Erica's hand? Are you aware of what Saturn symbolizes? Saturn? Does that symbolize something, guys? Have you ever heard of
Saturnalia, of course. A feast.
Saturnalia?
Saturn.
The feast of Saturnalia.
Roman Christmas precursor.
Yes, Harrison, little
Saturn or something.
Do you know that tattoo proves that she killed Charlie Kirk?
Oh fuck! And screw the chat for telling me to go watch Candace for saying this.
Gun.
Is it true? The same idiots that fell for Q fall for Candace. Why? Because they do not know how to accurately verify or disprove research. I'm just reading these. There's actually an InfoWars hourly updates on Apple Podcasts. Freedom Corps. Give a narrative similar to the truth, inject 20% of lies. That's how Intel obfuscates, called twinning, as Patrick Byrne mentioned.
Absolutely, bro.
I'm not gonna read insults. I'm sorry. Candace produces no evidence, yaps about gossip, slanders people, and then discredits all other voices asking questions. I'm losing IQ points by the second. $1 for Max for the supercuts or for the uppercuts. Boom!
Thank you,
from
sir.
The top rope.
Thank you.
New Groiper, we're not asking for hard evidence. We are just asking for evidence. Philly Sweets, Paramount Tactical debunked everything about Wasabi and Mitch Snow. Fort Wasabi. New Groiper, heard that transponder guy assaulted somebody. Now you have to prove it or else you're guilty. Candace raised $150,000 for a wife beater and pathological liar, Mitch Snow, but went after Crowder during his divorce when he was throwing shade at her former employee, Daily Wire. This is going to be the last time I talk about any of that. I've just decided I'm never talking about any of this ever again. Coop95, love the stream, brother. Keep going, boys.
Smart man. I'm going to make it my beat. Shit.
I don't think this is fair because I like that Harrison has stood up to fight this, but he's not the fighter that's supposed to be here. It's the ones that are supposed to be here need to be here. And that would be.
I actually told Harrison that earlier today.
You know what I mean? That's why I respect Harrison, because he's showing up and he's getting way overcooked on this when, he's defending his bro, mentor, boss, AJ.
Genius,
wanted a war.
Legendary icon of liberty, Alex Jones. Yes.
Yeah,
Harrison's I would do the exact same, Harrison.
Yeah, but Harrison's getting all the flack without the payout that all these other guys got.
Don't worry, Israel already paid him. Don't worry.
What is No More News talking about? That was at a Palestinian restaurant on an anti-Israel trip to the West Bank. I don't know what he's talking about. Did we say something about? Oh, he's just talking to somebody else. Okay, never mind. Sorry. I thought he was responding to something we said. I'm like, what? Just get over and kiss the wall already, Hamas Harrison. You're mixing your messages here. Digging your hole deeper. I tuned into War Room today, and you were talking about the fucking 2020 election being stolen. You didn't even have the story straight. You sound like a retard on the space. Thank you for the money, Desert Groiper. Tell Max to make a Moonbase channel on Apple Podcasts. All right. Thank you, everybody. This has been so much fun. And honestly, Transplender, this has been awesome. I really do appreciate you coming in. I did not want this to be just like a trash Candace thing. I really did want to hear your views. I'm sorry if I got a little heated. I love you and respect you.
Fine, brother. You're in the pressure cooker. Interacting with Candace is stepping inside the Chernobyl nuclear reactor. I understand.
Hey, me too. Transplender, it's been good faith, dude. Hold nothing personally against you. Thanks for
you too, brother.
Same with us.
Good to meet you guys.
I look forward to learning more about Candace. Like I said, I'm committed, so I'll be watching the episode.
Y'all should go follow Transplender. As much as you may be convinced by his arguments against us, his content that's not about Candace is fantastic. But the stuff about Candace is good too. It is.
No,
it really
absolutely,
is.
man. And I hope that everyone can be friends, and especially Harrison and Candace. I hope you guys do talk again, and I hope that she's not losing her mind, and et cetera, et cetera. So.
No, I don't want them to. I think that it should be Alex Jones with Candace in a Spaces or a live.
Yeah,
just
or
talk.
a boxing ring.
That's going to be a Joe Rogan level. Joe Rogan, AJ level. That should be the next step.
I think it should be Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens and Alex Jones in a room, fish tank style. Leave them in for a week.
Whoa.
Lock them in and don't let them out.
You got to give Ian Carroll to Candace, and it's got to be 2-on-2.
All right, guys.
I mean, y'all realize that is a literally $1 billion idea. If we actually got the four of them to live in a house with cameras for a week, it would legitimately be $1 billion.
No, you do Candace, Milo, Alex, Fuentes. That's what you do for the real.
And then
you give them all a gun with one bullet.
Dude, and then in the basement, Loomer is chained up.
No, she's got everyone chained up. You know, she's the one in charge.
She's the operator, the puppet string puller at the top.
I just think it would be awesome. Let's get Sam Hyde on this shit. But no, man, I really do hope that everyone can, like, for example, okay, let's say in the next week, every single person they accused has an ironclad alibi. Like, Candace really should be like, okay, Harrison was right. Like, let's be honest, she really should.
That never happened. You know that never happened, John. We're not expecting that.
John, you know
in obscurity.
If all that comes out, she's doubling down.
No. All right. Hey, we're ending on a good note. We are all friends. We're not crashing out again.
There's a war going on. I get it. It's an info war.
I, for one, welcome my new Candace Owens overlord.
All right, so we're all agreed. All hail Candace. We all apologize for everything we've said. We're back on the plantation, and Mitch Snow is going to bring this whole fucking corrupt house of cards around their ears. All right,
right.
All right, guys,
hey, my 7,000 just went through. What about you guys? You guys get it yet?
Yeah, hey, follow Max, follow Transplender, follow us at the Gray Area if you want to see our show that me and Tim do, and if you want to see more of what Tim does, follow Tim at Truism Tim on X. Follow Lebanon John. Follow Harrison Smith. Everyone here tonight just want to have a great discussion, and I think we did that. And thank you guys very much for having us on.
I think this has been the most fun episode of Moonbase so far. Definitely the most viewers that we've ever had. So thank you, everybody. We love you all. And good night.
Love you. Good night,
guys.
Take care.